on the map, do that again. Looks so good. Whether it's a Pugna, whether it's an Enchantress, whether it's a Snap or a Hoodwink, these heroes are very disruptive towards Tidebound because when they were responding to these support Snap pressure, they were bringing everybody. Like, they had to bring 3 heroes, bring a +1 behind because, oh no, we don't have enough damage to kill Pugna, and they just lose their advantage on the map. They lose their area control.
Falcons have a very a script in a way where they stick to what they want from their players, and their players and their heroes that they have, they're interchangeable. So if you ban one, you get the other. So I think for them, it's probably more about they should be ready for how Tidebound will adapt in the next game with maybe a different pick, a different ban, and just play as it did in game 1.
But that's why I think when we've praised Snaking, giving him MVP for the Pugna, he can still play Chant other heroes. Why not look at Crit more? Why not look at the Snapfire, the Hoodwink? These are the active heroes that make everything feel so kind of oppressive in the game. If they're both gone, he's now playing like a Batrider or a Nyx or a Ringmaster. Like, they don't have as much of that kind of punchy value. So I'd say double ban those 2 heroes. We can see a completely different style from Falcons.
I like that. Or take the Snap for yourselves. So one of your supports has that Wave Shove because when they do give Snap away to Falcons, it opens up for so much combo potential. Again, the kisses on the Roar, the kisses on the Arena, they came in clutch so many times last game.
Yeah, a lot of questions we have about what's going to happen in the upcoming draft, and those questions will be answered in just a moment.
Team Tidebound versus Team Falcons. Game 2.
Game 2 means that if Falcons take this game number 2, they secure themselves top 6 at this international. Of course, Tidebound would like a repeat of what happened in the road to TI, where they were able to bring it back in game number 2 and 3. Let's see how they're going to attempt to do that. We have this time around Tidebound on the Radiant side, Falcons on the Dire side, and it's Falcons this time around with first pick. So the complete swap around compared to previous game. But there is one thing that didn't change, is that the Ancient Declaration still gets first phase banned, even though right now Falcons only has those 3 bans. So that's a little bit surprising to me, but that also means we got extra juice left in the pool.
I think they've identified something important, which was this hero has kind of been a crux to Tidebound in how they draft. It's always picked really early on. It's always their follow-up damage, and we haven't really seen Planet on very much else. We saw him just now on the Muerta, and it didn't look as good. He looked a lot less comfortable on that map.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe where they should or have to look more at the heroes that you guys are mentioning too, with the Snap, with the Hoodwink, maybe something else that just makes it a little more easy, because yeah, the Muerta, it did not sell me in game 1. At least one thing that is here now for Falcons, if they do want to first pick it, which they've done a few times before, Sand King could be left open, because last game around it was banned, Tidebound went for the first pick Shaker, and they do ban out the NTS Tinker one more time, can't blame them for doing that.
Yeah, and then Naga makes it through also with that ban that we've had on the Beastmaster and the Shaker. We'll see if Tidebound wants to go for the Sand King themselves.
I don't think I want to see that from Tidebound. We're going to see NTS hitting that triangle early on, trying to farm a certain item timing and just not being available to his team. This Naga Siren creates a lot of issues because last game we talked about the Wave Shove coming out of Falcons and how Tidebound couldn't respond to it that well. That is what this hero does best to you.
Yeah, no, Naga Siren, how do you word it in a nice way? I forgot about TI for a second.
You're gonna hate the hero.
I hate the hero. I mean, I'm a support player, but come on, man. It's like you press one button, I jump a guy, and then he sings from the tree line. Congratulations, man. You've got Shard healing, whatever. It really simplifies Dota so much that you have Wave Shove, you have Fight Reset, and also it plays into Falcons' logic of the game, which is we want to scale, and it is the perfect Falcons hero. It's why it's banned out so much.
I mean, they've been using this since Singapore TI, where even Carry Naga was super good back then, where Cedar played it every time, or Snaking and they go with the flex. I like Tidebound's response. Centaur has really risen up in popularity a lot. Generally, when you see Naga, you want heroes that can stay there, you can clear illusions, have high HP region, maybe by a Vanguard. And I've seen the Aghanim Scepter, the card, it's been getting picked up a lot.
Yeah. It's a really cool thing, especially if you have a carry like Shiro, who's gonna ranged carry and just be all of your net worth. If you can cart him late game, get him into the midst of the fight, keep him safe, that's one step better than what they had last game. Last game, not a single save existed for the carry. Here, you solve it through your offlaner.
And with the laning matchup, the Centaur, the Naga Siren, Centaur will just be able to play the lane like Kezi's already mentioned. And I think knowing that your offlaner is going to have all this farm and doesn't need to rotate is a really good indicator to kind of a successful Tidebound lineup for sure.
I want to see Shiro play Morph, if they can build a draft for it, because maybe take advantage of this AA ban from the enemy team. Make it so that it helps your draft in a way that one of his counters are out of the pool. We've seen how good he looked when they played the Morph plus Centaur combo, as you showed us, Kazu.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, I think, incredibly good for them. And like I like it a lot when you do make use of bans. There's also, there's no beast. You already banned it out. That would be good for the Morph too. Of course, we'll have to see it later because picking it like in a vulnerable position can be very hard. I think one thing that I find like really funny to see in this draft. So Falcons last time around, they were the ones that picked out of the second phase and they took the snap. Now it's reversed. You have Tidebound that they pick out of phase, and you have Falcons that are like, Snapfire and Pugna are so good, we're not going to let you have them. So it just shows you like the value of how highly they actually think of these heroes.
Yeah, speaking of high value heroes, though, Nature's Prophet definitely has been one and can also be flexed. And we can, of course, see it as support, but we can also see it in the hands of Shiro as a range carry.
I'd like to see it as carry at the moment. Of course, the draft might change that, but just the general playstyle, Centaur doesn't care about Naga Siren. He's just going to play that lane. Nature's Prophet, good farm, you rotate in, you're now pressuring Skitter. You're like progressing the map. You're making Falcons react, and making them react in the early game, it really hurts them quite a lot.
And this is the big trade-off that happens when you do expend a double support ban on Falcons. One of the most popular heroes of the tournament gets given away. We'll see what Shiro can do with it. I mean, when you talk about what Nature's Prophet does versus a hero like Naga Siren, he can just press ulti and negate a lot of the wave shove she provides.
Yeah.
So it's already a step up.
I mean, Falcons for now, what they do a lot also with Sanking, I feel like they always make sure when he goes in, they give him the follow-up damage that he kills, but they also always have a hero that then allows him to get out again. So the Hoodwink allows you to kill. Naga Song is going to allow you to disengage. So I already like this a lot, and they stack so much. I will talk about it multiple hundred times while we're in this tournament. But Naga Siren, great stacker. Sanking will clear it. So I like what both teams are presenting so far.
Then surely we should see Tidebound focus a little bit on having a lineup that can contest those stacks.
Surely.
Contest stacks or just be efficient on the map. So when you know they're farming the stacks, you're shoving that additional wave, you're hitting that extra tower, you're making another move to make Falcons kind of trade going for them. And already with Tidebound's lineup, they're kind of offering Falcons like, please, we know you're going to jump us, but we have the Puck to coil you, the Centaur with the Aghanim's down the line to save. Nature's Prophet, you can ignore every fight. You don't have to rotate on the map if you don't want to. You can just farm so much economy that you have BKB, Satanic, and all the big items when it matters.
And they covered the Puck pick by picking Disruptor, which is one of Puck's counters. Another one is the Silencer or even the Lion or Shaman that are still within the pool. But you do want to pick up that instant disable for yourself if you're up against a Puck this early.
When Sanking jumps in, Static Storm, thank you very much, kill him. It's very nice. Centaur has to be the damage soak for Tidebound. Like, positioning is key, because of course how explosive Falcons are. If your Prophet's out of position, if anyone's out of position, they will just get 100 to 0.
And so what do you want here if you're a Falcons? You probably pick Skeeter's hero. I think generally when I see Centaur, you kind of want a hero that eventually will, deal enough damage to kill through him, because he may buy some auras. You want like high physical damage. Generally speaking, you have heroes like Sven that are quite high up on the radar against this. Maybe because you have Naga Siren, you don't want it. Would he look more for a range hero, some Gyro again?
You could just go maximum map play and go Terrorblade. Then you have Terrorblade Illusions pushing, Naga Illusions pushing, Sanking, Hoodwink utilizing all of that to then find the pickoffs. When you eventually break them, then you can kind of progress the game state. It's quite a toxic way to play, but it's the old school Tundra way. At least that's how they won that TI.
Because on this slot, they have to decide what is the most valuable pick. Because you have one pick into the bans, you have to decide later. They go with this should be an Amar Bristleback.
Yep.
I don't really see Skeeter played. I think Amar's just so good on his heroes. There's no real reason to flex them.
Is there enough damage right now with Tidebound's heroes where we were... Yeah, that's pretty much it. Do they actually have any damage? Scaling, lovely. Love the scaling. Damage, not really.
I think there are actually going to be big damage issues here, because Furion's going to take a while before he really packs a punch. Like, it takes him 4 to 5 items to get through a lot of damage reduction. His biggest strength is his ability to instantly follow up on any kind of setups on the map or join and correct lanes and farm very quickly. But Bristleback also keeps tempo, will be incredibly tanky, and if a pipe comes out, who's really doing your damage early game for Tidebound?
Is that a reason to put that Nature's Prophet in the hands of Planet instead?
I would be leaning that direction, because if not, then we're looking at a 4 position to fix the damage problems.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really hard.
Yeah.
That, especially with like Snap and other.
If Ancient Apparition was available, perfect hero.
Lovely.
But not available.
There's always a prospect of carry Doom, but again, that just does not fit Tidebound's playstyle and how they've been playing with Shiro.
I would be looking, I mean, it's like what I see for Tidebound, and of course they will see the ultimate lineup so they can look for, you know, the damage issues, try to fix it, but also get the carry matchup. But I also am a fan of the Nature's Prophet being a support. You do pick a new carry, so anything that gives you static, high physical damage that is going to lane okay is what you should be looking at.
If we're looking at carry, it could be like a Medusa just to try and outscale, hold the high ground. And if you want a support for Planet, I'm thinking Phoenix. Have some Sunray, you then have all this control in front of you, you then utilize that, the Shard Sunray as well with your egg. But you have the first 20 minutes with a Phoenix support, it could be kind of scary. You overcome that, sure, the draft's going to really be able to play itself out.
And we're still, like, regardless of what position is going to be picked for Tidebound, we still want, if it's Shiro's hero that gets picked, or he gets an Nature's Prophet, we want a ranged carry.
Not necessarily, more so just a hyper carry, not something like a Mercy.
I mean, I was thinking that maybe they would want Ursa, but they banned it, so they're not going to get their hands on this. I think for Falcons, generally they play with 2 initiators nearly no matter what. And this time you have Amar, who's not the initiator, so I kind of feel
He
like...
does initiate, he runs in.
True, he
really
runs in
aggressively.
his big ass body. He's gonna get in there. So I would be leaning for Falcons, you know, for like the classic Skeeter hero. Your DK is banned out. There's still your Sven. Is there anything else that's like strength? Maybe, you know, it might jump in for his team.
But does that hero need to be more of an objective taker, or...?
Not necessarily. I feel like BB is quite good.
No?
It could be Faceless Void.
True.
And it looks like a pretty comfortable pick. Or a Baden. I mean,
I like this.
heroes we don't see Shiro play, but could also be good. Again, the carry Doom or a Lifestealer. We saw Lifestealer do well earlier today.
Yep.
Lifestealer is good against all these 3 cores for sure.
And good against the supports as well. You can just rage through the song, you can live through the epicenter damage.
He can be kited, but you have a lot of lockdowns, so I feel like the heroes around you could cover, you know, for this, right? You have Glimpse, you have some kinetic fields, you have a coil here, you have a stampede for you.
Does that mean that we do no longer, if you wanted to see the Shiro morphling, is this no longer a good game for this?
I don't like it because it'll get easily outpaced by Abaddon plus Bristleback. It just looks too greedy.
Okay. There's a lot of time left for Tidebound to come to the perfect solution for the last puzzle piece in their draft.
I mean, I'm okay with the Lifestealer. I feel like there might be something better, but I can't... Like, I think of Lifestealer, I feel like it's good, but maybe there's like this, holy damn, you know, this one pick where everyone goes like, wow, what is this? I can't see it.
We forgot about the one that they're going to pick is the one we're going to be, oh my gosh, we should have thought about that. We'll see, though. Of course, this could also be a time where Blink gives a speech to the squad about what the plan is in the early game if they do want to play this for the late game.
Because I don't see any game-breaking +4s at least.
Ooh, well, that is a hero we have seen Shiro played. On the road to TI, and it is a ranged carry, so we like that as 50-50, you know, all balanced, Tigov.
Yeah, they want to try and kill in the lane, right? You have Disruptor plus Shadow Fiend, the Nature's Prophet TPing as well. We're going to expect tri-lanes from minute 3, 4, very early on, and that creates the tempo. We already know that Centaur should be independent, so tri-lane Amar with 2 supports and a Shadow Fiend, get some kind of moves going your way. I don't mind it.
It's very good for what it does on the lane, but I do worry that as the game progresses and these like big tanky heroes on Falcons get these harpoons and these BKBs and get on top of the SF, there's not really much of a way to fight back.
Yeah, I wonder like if Tidebound can try to get off to a good start. I mean, you have the Nature's Prophet 4 who can try to offset some of the lanes. And I would also say that first Rosh in this game is quite important. You want this on your SF, especially in this type of game. I do think they can make it happen. I would say they have okay lanes. You have Centaur who should be fine in the bottom lane, which allows Planet to like kind of rotate around. So I think this early game, I got my eyes on him to like try and set up Tidebound for a good start.
Yeah, is it once again in this game number 2 just as important, Tigov, in the laning stage for Tidebound to hold the fort? Hold their own?
1,000,000%. Like, Tidebound need to create their own tempo in the early game to try and overlap the Farmer Falcons so that the greedy heroes are scaling in the same areas, and then it kind of hurts them. If you allow Falcons the entire map, then, as we already mentioned, big damage problems.
I mean, I am quite happy to, at least personally, like nothing to say last game. He didn't show me much. He had a hard time on the Earthshaker. This time, he's playing puck. I think he's set up for a way better game. There are no, the only instance they have, Blink Stun from Sand King. But your team can bail you out. Maybe they can start to fight for you. So he's set up for more, because for me, he's the most important player on this team. He's set up for more success. That's all I need to see.
And what are they going to do with the stacks? Are they going to try to split the map, as we said was one of the solutions, or invade the triangle?
You can invade.
With a good start, they can absolutely invade. You can push in the lane with your SF, with your Disruptor, walk over, your Nature's Prophet, he can TP, place a ward. I think they're set up way better this game.
Any final words and thoughts on these two drafts, Effie?
I just worry that if Tidebound don't come out of lanes with like at least a 4K net worth advantage, like minute 12, I don't really see how the game is going to be played out for them, because they're going to get outscaled and outfarmed.
A lot of pressure on this game number 2 that is coming your way. But before we jump in the game, we're going to jump on stage where Tsunami is with Coach Blink.
That is right, I am standing by with a Blink of Tidebound, where I gotta say, this matchup against Falcons during the road was one of the best series that we have had. And now we're getting the rematch. But it seems that they've made some adaptations, so I was wondering what you think they've changed to get that game number 1 win.
那上周呢，在国际邀请赛之路上，就是 Falcons 战队的对决，你们太棒战队是其中一个最精彩的对决了。然后呢，这次感觉他们已经做出了一些调整来应对你们的一些做出了应对你们的一些战略。就想问你，你个人认为他们做出哪些调整呢？
他首先是他们班人吧，他们开始帮我们狼人，帮我们冰魂，帮一些没有那么常规的英雄，就是他们可能回去深思熟虑的一些东西吧。
Well, Team Falcons have definitely done their homework. Their bans are now much more effective. They are now banning heroes like Lycan, heroes like Ancient Apparition, which are not usual bans, but are bans that are very much our hero pool, so they've definitely done their work here.
They have been doing their homework indeed, and I was wondering if I could get your perspective. The Western audience, we see you, we see Y, we see Faith Beyond or Bach, and we immediately put the term Wings 2.0 to you, but I wanted to know how you felt about that.
就是国外的、海外的这些观众呢，粉丝社区，他们看到你们战队，看到Y 队，看到边将，看到你，就是他们脑子里面想的就是太邦战队，就相当于是 Wings 2.0。那你对这种看法有什么评价呢？
还是有一些区别的吧。我们现在就是太棒的。
There is some difference after all, and you guys can now know us as Team Tidebound.
The new era is upon us, and let us witness it as we get into a game number 2. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tsunami and Blink. Welcome to said game number 2, Tidebound versus Falcons. Winner of this moves on to through the upper bracket, while the loser goes to the lower bracket. Cinderin, we're gonna see the last time we cast Faith Beyond on Centaur.
Oh yeah.
Now, to be fair, they did lose, but it was the most entertaining game that we got to cast.
Yeah.
With all of the carts, with refreshers. I know we were teasing this, or maybe some people don't enjoy it, I don't know, but the late game Dota between these two teams is something to truly behold, and I hope we get there this time.
And I believe the game you're referring to was one of the games against Extreme, where Extreme had offlane Undying.
Yeah.
That was insane. That was the most exciting, and I would say high skill game that we got the pleasure of casting during the Swiss stage. Now, as Blink said in the interview, Falcons have done some very good adaptations, and that's obviously one of the concerns that you have as the teams coming out the winners or the high scorers of those stages is the other teams get some time to figure out how they beat you. And this break that we've had in between the Swiss and the final stage here, Falcons have clearly prepared, very much so targeted at this opponent, as they should. It's their first one. You've got plenty of time to figure that out. Will be interesting to see in the future days when you have less time, how fast you will learn from the few games you get to see now from here on out. But yeah, the bans in particular really show a bigger adjustment. I would argue Falcons have made a much bigger adjustment against Tidebound than vice versa in the strategy. I'm not too surprised with what Falcons are getting to run in these games.
Yeah, I completely agree. And we were talking about this the other day, the fact that historically Chinese Dota has been extremely good at late game Dota, whereas kind of in the early stages they've been struggling as of recently, but feels like Falcons, if it does go late, they're no strangers to this type of gameplay anyway.
Yeah. I would love to see a late game between these two teams where nobody is really far ahead. I think the last game, the advantage for Falcons just became way too big at around 30, 35 minutes. If the game is close, the teams are going to be delivering at a very high level. So fingers crossed for that. Now, as far as the lineups go, I do think it's more likely this game that this one will be slower, actually. Effie brought up a good point on the panel about the tankiness of Falcons' cores if things go according to plan for them, but I don't necessarily think a mid-game portion for them will be that easy. However, it's also not going to be the easiest task for Tidebound to build a big lead. Because how will they find multiple successful fights where they come out far ahead against this lineup? Tough to see. You have Disengage of Naga, you've got Abaddon, who's like the hardest carry in Dota to kill. At least one of them. Bristle back off lane. Tall order.
Yep, very true. Abaddon has been extremely powerful in this tournament, and the last few months at the very least as a position 1. Nice pushback from Crit as he gets away from this potential death. See 3 members of Tidebound in the area, and that's the beauty of having the Nature's Prophet, which started out as the best hero of the patch. And where would you rate it now? Because, I mean, obviously it's always had this flex potential.
It's still up high. I think it's just a very high skill hero because, and not specifically because of the spell casting, like casting spells with Prophet is very simple, but using its map presence correctly.
Yep, Amar taking a lot of raises, wants to get aggro though, pops the stick as Shiro now is the one he's pursuing, but this looks like it might be the death of Amar, but first Planet goes down. That is a huge deal, so first blood actually going to Falcons, but of course Shiro getting the kill onto the core. He's going to be at least a little bit satisfied with that.
Still, it's a 3v2 situation. That's a great result for Falcons in that exchange to get the first blood and just overall trading. Even if they didn't get the first kill, it's still quite good in the circumstances. But Amar is an absolute master at Bristleback. I think one of the things that sets him apart from most other Bristles, in my opinion, is his ability to... It's small moments like that, those snippets where you just watch how he turns his hero. It sounds so basic, but honestly, if you look at his gameplay on this hero against the majority of the field, even other like top 5 Bristleback players, I just think he's the absolute best at these high pressure moments where he is the target, at rotating around, getting as much mitigation as possible while still doing his output. A lot of the time, the best play on Bristle is literally standing still.
Yep,
like he did
true.
there. So, pretty cool to see.
So what kind of build do you want to see from him this game then, with the lineup in mind?
I mean, currently he's eyeing up Blade Mail. I think that's a very good choice into Shadow Fiend and Puck. I think you just want to reflect a lot here. Aside from that, Sanjay and Yasha seems fine. I think BKB should be on the menu at some point. Lotus Orb could also be very good, which, you know, when I list all of Bristleback's best items and I like all of them in the game, it probably means it's a pretty good pick for that game. So, not sure I have a favorite order, but I do think Lotus, Blade Mail, and BKB should all be in it at some point.
6-minute power rune. Malorine's going to be sprouted and will be greeted with a shield rune activating right underneath him. So we'll be bottling that up as he's going to get the burrow. Just to harass Nothing to Say a bit as he's sitting on 43-5 versus the 41-2 on the Puck. So extremely even in this mid lane. Is this what you would expect in a normal Puck versus Sand King matchup?
Probably. The way Malrine played the lane is he just cuts waves, right? He pulls the waves together and then sandstorms them, so effectively he just trades. Maybe sometimes you can come out slightly ahead if you also integrate neutral camps well or whatever, but yeah, not too surprised to see this overall result.
Is there going to be a play for the Wisdom Shrines this time? It doesn't. Well, as I say that, Malrine and Snake King are going to be greeted by Bach next to the tree line. Sand King tries to get off his ult, but it's instantly canceled. Coil is going to be expended. Malrine does not activate the ult as of yet. Tries to burrow strike out of the glimpse, but it's not happening. It's Nothing to Say. He's going to greet Snake King. Likely a death to his name is Skeeter. Now to 1 versus 2. Malrine's going to try to accompany him at the moment. Snake King, one more right click will do it for Nothing to Say. We'll be able to clip him with the Illusory Orb, but the bigger kill is onto Skeeter. Malrine, though, with the epicenter, misses the burrow strike, but still gets the kill on the Centaur, and he takes the Shrine of Wisdom as well. So despite being outnumbered, Falcons getting the better of that.
Just like in game number 1, they get both Wisdoms minus 7.
I was not expecting them to actually be able to get it this time, though. I mean, the thing is, Taiwan was actually ready for that too.
Yeah, it's a pretty good showcase of some of the things the panel was talking about with damage issues, right? This support duo of Prophet Disruptor do not deal much damage in the early game, so you just run over there with your tanky heroes and with a Photic Shield, and who's going to kill them if not Shadow Fiend? You've got a bit of poke damage from Puck and Centaur that doesn't cut it, especially with Bach's skill build of 3 points and Retaliate. So,
yeah, to be
I'm really
fair,
too
that
surprised with that outcome.
Yeah. I mean, that is pretty normal, though. Got to get farm on Centaur.
Oh, of course. I'm not blaming his item build, or his skill build. I'm just saying you just don't have that much damage to kill the Sand King there. They kind of had to disengage when he got a Photic Shield on him, and he just pursues.
As Tidebound will find a nice nifty stack that Falcons have been working on. Of course, Falcons one of the more active stackers in Dota, and Shiro even coming in to clean it up. So very nice state there for Tidebound.
Yeah, that's a good steal.
We get to see the Centaur Helm of the Dominator. I believe he went that in the game that we cast as well.
I think
it does amplify his farm a decent amount, but this, with the 3 in return, like you said, this is going to be farm mode for Faith Beyond right now.
The funny thing is we've seen a lot of uncharacteristic traditionally heroes going for the Helm of the Dominator, right? But when you think about it, it actually makes a ton of sense on Centaur, because you get HP regen, which is what he really wants in lane. You get 6 armor. This hero has very bad armor, but very big strength growth. So your EHP per armor on this hero is second to almost none. And therefore, if it is a patch for Dom, it just makes sense for Centaur to be able to pick it up.
Makes sense thematically as well. With Stampede, you want more animals, aside from your teammates, of course, to be able to take part. Such a beautiful spell. Remember when that used to stun initially when it came out?
Oh, yeah.
Good times.
That was when you peaked in MMR those 2 days.
Yeah, I was ranked 6 in the world. Thank you, Cinder. I was not going to bring it up, but since you did, I will.
No, I didn't bring up your ranking in the world. I just said you gained MMR.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
Malrine trying to defend this mid lane. Has that Sandstorm up, of course, with that facet that applies a blind when he attacks. Can be quite annoying to deal with. The fact that works on towers is crazy, by the way. But it is interesting, because I can't think of another spell that works similarly like that. You can't stun a tower, can you? Or maybe there is actually a spell that can stun, technically. I'd have to think about that.
Off the top of
I'll give you the rest of the game to think of that one. Is Mask of Madness now online for Shiro? You can see the pressure being applied to this tier 1 as Shiro shows up with Planet as well. And it looks like this is going to be a nice pickoff for Tidebound. Will it turn into anything else, though? Malrine, he's going to be spotted. Glimpse back into the kinetic field. Nice pushback, going to slow them down a bit. Coil applied, but that's not going to really turn into much as the numbers have come from Falcons. Skeeter leading the way. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Has not leveled his ult as of yet, so does have to be a bit careful.
Yeah, I'm surprised they just let them have that tower. Considering you got both wisdoms and the 2 enemy supports are level 5, you're oftentimes not in a position to just brute force like this. But a successful play call, Falcons were uninterested in bringing over the resources. And let's be honest, if they really wanted to defend that, they could have. That was a choice. If MR TPs, I think you don't lose that. You just place the Bristle back in front and that's the end of it. Instead, they're letting them take the mid tower, and now Bach up top as well. Decently big wave with Siege Creep too.
Absolutely.
So if they do anything about this one.
Centaur left to his own devices can certainly push to a decent degree, especially with a Helm on top of it. Not going to tank up the tower for now, as there's still a siege unit on it, so this looks like another tower for Tidebound, playing super fast in this game too.
Crit on Y, a little bit of poke here. The rotation from nothing to say a little bit too late to be able to find a coil. Now Crit will make a move of his own together with Malrine. That's that blink reveal. I think the dream kill here is to get Puck with a blink epi into Bushwhack stun combo.
The 12-minute rune is bottom. It's a haste as there's the stun onto nothing to say with the Bushwhack to follow, and the sharpshooter is enough. Big kill for Falcons.
Yeah, good judgment call there. I thought the Epicenter might have been necessary, but they do have enough in the tank. I don't think that was a very big overkill. Feels good enough.
Glimpse onto Amar. I'm not sure why he wants any of this smoke, though. He will now retreat, and Malrine will greet him. As Stampede is used, but I think he is dead anyway. Yeah, drops to the deck. So a Stampede down and another support kill for Falcons.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And looking at the side of Tidebound to see what power spikes are incoming. Dragonlance soon coming online for Shiro. Faith Beyond, Blade Mail not too far away as well. As the Witchblade now completed for Nothing to Say, so looks like Blink is next on the menu for him. Okay, this is a real question. Before this would be a meme, but because it was so prevalent in the game that we cast, how fast can Faith Beyond go for the cart, Cinder? And everybody wants to know. Like, is this a pipe game? Do you need to go for that against, well, essentially Sand King, right?
I don't think you need to go pipe. He's also eyeing a Blade Mail over it right now.
Oh, Blade Mail into what, though?
I think you could go Blade Mail, Blink Axe. Probably get...
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
And who do you want in your cart? The Shadow Friend?
It's pretty sick with Shadowfiend. You can drive him into Requiem.
Yeah.
That is a very strong combination. And of course, one of Shadowfiend's weaknesses as a hero, the panel touched upon this, is enemies, tanky heroes getting on top of you and just mauling you down. Centaur is one of the perfect solutions to that problem because SF, he has the damage to kill those heroes if he gets to attack.
That's right.
And the cart will ensure that. Of course, this was changed at some point. I don't remember which patch, but you're actually invulnerable in the cart, not just untargetable. So you can drive through the Epicenter Sandstorm and not care. You can tank all the quills. As long as you get to sit in that cart, you're all good.
But you can't take somebody out of Chrono anymore. Very important change. Very relevant in this game as well with the Faceless Void. So Blade Mail now up for Faith Beyond. As Amar is going to make his way to the mid lane. And another stolen shrine, potentially?
Oh, they might even get Shiro as a bonus.
Shiro, Epicenter's coming from him. He is not ready for this one. Bushwhack to follow Stampede, but the Sharpshooter is enough again. Falcons get away with murder, and the trade is a measly support. Of course, no offense to Snake King, he actually gets off the song anyway. Even the Wrath of Nature's not enough. These Eclipse and the Static Storm is one, but the Illusory Orb is enough. They use everything to kill the support off as Skeeter shows up a little bit too late, though, so Planet does end up trading the Wisdom Shrines, but still the bigger kill on top of Shiro.
Almost survived.
How is he so tanky?
Well, Naga has pretty good base armor, and I think he just popped everything he had. He probably had a lot of one charges, used Polywalk Charm, Song heals, obviously, so...
Yeah, but looking at the Tidebound team fight that's going to eventually come, if the stars can align, since that seems to be the theme of this TI, Coil into Requiem with like the cart potentially helping you out in that pursuit sounds kind of crazy. Being able to snap Coil on multiple heroes.
Yeah.
A lot of upside, and with that Static Storm to make things even more difficult. You can see the potential from Tidebound's lineup.
He is queuing up pipe on the Centaur, though.
Okay.
So this will be a much delayed blink. Of course, they can somewhat rely on Nothing to Say to set up plays, but it is nice to have a secondary option.
Ooh, close one. Indeed.
We'll save Planet, but...
Oh, Sharp, this is a much bigger kill. Trying for the Requiem, but it's not happening. Skeeter gets the kill on Shiro. Second death in just a couple minutes now for the SF.
He's having a really difficult day today so far. Marcy in game number 1 did not go well. This game on SF, the 2 deaths, it might not sound like much, but this hero is the perfect target for Falcons to slow down if possible. And similar to game number 1, Tidebound are playing without saves. So when SF does get jumped, until you have that cart, which is far down the road.
Yeah, let's keep talking about the cart, by all means.
Oh, absolutely. It's... For once, it's actually important. The first 20 times I cast with you and you mentioned it, I didn't care. But this game, I do.
Yeah, you can see, I can see the future. I have vision.
Yeah, you have vision. That's good.
That's right. Stampede used again. This time it does get somebody out, and it's Bach himself.
Yep.
But you can, I mean, just based on how this game is played, Tidebound has not been very aggressive at all. Like, maybe the laning stage a little bit with the TPs from Planet, but mostly it's been Falcons that have been setting the tempo.
Yeah, they took the early mid tower and top tower, but that's it. All the moves have been Falcons to get 4 Wisdom Shrines, quite a couple kills on the SF.
It was 3.
Oh, did they trade 1-for-1 on the second one?
Planet ended up TPing to the other side.
There's a Radiance now on Abaddon, so this is a major level up. Whichever playstyle you want to go for. If you want a team fight, this is when Abaddon really starts packing a punch. If you want to farm, you accelerate to a large degree. So Skitter's on track here for a
Stampede is not online this time as Amar finds himself a half man, half horse, but why is in the vicinity? Oh, a big initiation with a coil on the 3. Static Storm to follow. Malrine comes in though with the Epi. Looks like Boxing is the first to fall. Planet trying to kill off somebody. He finally gets a support. Looks like he's going to die shortly after though as the song to try to reset. Shiro on the outskirts looking for the Requiem. Will get it off to get the fear. Decent timing. Ensnare applied to the puck at the moment though. Nothing to say. He's found in the tree line. Burrow Strike applied. Still stuck in the trees. Can they find him? They ping him out. Finally the Illusory Orb comes. It's a curveball though. Back into the fray. He'd be able to blink out though. It looks like the pursuit will finally come to an end as that was all over the place.
Well, he did get out, but that first orb, I have no idea what happened. That might have been a mouse slip. Like, you would want to curveball that one back to your base or just throw it in a straight line, but he orbed forward. Fortunately, did manage to find a way to play himself out of that, but that was scary. Still another good fight for Falcons. Having the damage, and Shadowfiend just arrives too late. If you want to take these fights as Tidebound, and you do have said damage issues, this guy needs to be involved.
Yeah.
Or you're just not killing him.
I mean, they had Coil, Static Storm on 3 heroes. That is about as good of a start as you can hope for at this stage of the game for Tidebound.
If there's a Requiem there, you team wipe them, right? But
yeah,
Falcons might not make the move to begin with that information. They're doing it because they know Shadowfiend is elsewhere. So it's a little bit of an unlikely hypothetical to really find that type of fight right now. And of course, if you do find yourself in the back foot, hang on, nothing to say.
Sharpshooter again. The glimpse back onto Snake King gives the space needed for Nothing to Say to retreat.
It is hard for Tidebound to land all of their stuff because there's the threat of song at any given point. Now, in that example, Snake King was caught in the storm, but you cannot rely on that happening every time.
I mean, this might be a game.
Arriving. That's drums.
Yeah, this might be a game where the 3 cores from Tidebound all have to get BKB because of the song, potentially.
Radiant's top tower.
I mean, the fact that Pipe is being bought by Bach means that that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, it's far away.
That'll be like a 4th, 5th item for him if the game gets to that point. Malrine. He's going to be able to pop the Epicenter, and that is way too easy onto Faith Beyond. And it looks like the rest of Tidebound might want to still fight.
Yep.
Onto Skeeter. Gets stunned up now, has the borrowed time, and the kinetic field not in time, so he's going to be able to shrug it off with the Aphotic Shield and the rest of Falcons nearby.
Understandably, Y is hesitant to just go in there against an Abaddon ult, but ends up being a little bit too slow, doesn't land the field, and this is probably just going to cost them the
Wait, are they contesting this? No, the Centaur taken out. They know this is happening, but indeed. Skeeter, of all the heroes, gets the shard. That's surprising. Talk about that in just a moment. Kinetic field with the Static Storm onto the Sand King, but there's no follow-up at all from Tidebound. They have to run away.
This is such a good shard to get for free on Core Abaddon.
Yeah, how did that even happen? He's 3rd in net worth on his team then, or he was at that point?
Well, Crit bought his own, so he was competing against Naga, and Amar also has his own. He bought his too.
Okay.
So, yep. And if you subtract 1,400 from his current net worth, he's below Sand King. So, yeah. He was eligible. His other teammates are just that farmed.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. I feel like Falcons are one of the teams that actually purchases shards a lot earlier than the average team. Probably one of the nerd stats from AUI 2000, one of his preferences, Skeeter. Under the tier 2 tower, Coil will snap thanks to the glimpse. Skeeter's ult is now down. Wrath of Nature coming for him. Does hit, but now the reinforcements have arrived. Burrow Strike from Malrine. Bushwhack not going to connect this time, but a Sharpshooter does. The Stampede does not give the distance needed. So another punish from Falcons as they now have a 5k lead.
It doesn't seem like Tidebound are able to string anything much together in these attempted aggressive moves. They're just unable to connect on the heroes that they want and get the damage out. Abaddon being the target once again just doesn't really help if you don't have the follow-up. What you want to do is to force his ult without using Glimpse. If you use Glimpse to force the ulti every time, he just runs away. So if they're unable to force it without it, the play probably doesn't exist to begin with. And it's just a big waste of time. I mean, sure, you might not lose any kills or any heroes in the process, but you just know in the back of your mind, Falcons are farming on 3 cores the whole time. So they're beating you on efficiency if these moves fail.
Yeah, well, now Faith Beyond has the pipe. Obviously, we talked about the fact that he opted to go for that before Blink, so it feels like they have to get something out of this.
Does Q have Crimson, too?
Oh, okay. Well, you don't need Blink if you know you're going to get Aghanim Scepter at some point, Cinderin. You know?
Well, that's debatable.
I mean, the fact that you can Blink full range now with somebody in the card and it works.
Yeah.
Absurd. So many micro buffs over the last couple years with this item that we keep talking about we probably won't see, so we're just wasting everybody's time.
Radiant's middle tower is under
But
attack.
regardless, Falcons now through the gate. As they have their sights set on Nothing to Say. Well, they don't have their sights yet, but they have an idea. He's up here. Burrow Strike finds him. Bushwhack to follow, and another sharpshooter kill for Crit. My goodness. He has 4 kills right now on the Hoodwink. Feels like nothing going the way of Tidebound so far in this game, too.
This hero pairing is so good. So, Hoodwink plus Centaur, Hoodwink plus Sand King. You hit a Burrow Strike, you make sure you get the Boomerang in ASAP, you amplify all the spell damage from Sandstorm, from your other spells. He doesn't even have an offensive item in these kills. He's running Glimmer on Hoodwink, so he hasn't amped anything else than buying the Boomerang. That's good enough. Now mid tower finally for Falcons. 8,000 lead going to be on the board after this goes down.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
For 1 second now it's back to 7, but it was a good second.
Yeah, we will always remember that. Very memorable moment here at TI. Mallory now taking some creeps away from Tidebound, working on his BKB next, not that far away. And Shiro with the 2 deaths that, I mean, it's only 2 deaths, but it does feel like it's kind of compounded from game 1 to some respect, because he was just dying constantly.
Yeah, he has 9 deaths so far today, I believe. Wasn't it 7 in the last game? Something like that.
Sure, we'll just go with that. Working on the Silver Edge, so wants to be able to break the Bristleback, but again, this is an off-lane hero. You still have to worry about 2 more cores that are all mega farmed.
And the question is, if you break him, does he even die? He has Lotus, Pipe, and Sanj. It's a really, really tanky Bristle here. Top of the net worth. I think you have to try to bide your time here as Tidebound, which is always going to be a dangerous strategy to have to play against Falcons, but realistically speaking, with the supports that you've drafted in this game, and also arguably in game number 1, you're putting a lot of pressure on your cores to do all of the damage, and if they're unable to find that early lead, you fall into this mid-game stalemate where you can't really pose that much of a threat. They will eventually get there. Puck is one of the best late gamers in Dota. Like from the mid lane. Centaur can become a monster. I'm not concerned about Tidebound's ability to win this game at the hour mark. I'm concerned about their ability to get there. Because Falcons are ramping up more and more, and if they hit their stride like they did in game number 1, we could be looking at a similar end time of like 45 minutes where the heroes are just invincible.
Yeah, for sure. And I was going to say, he's holding on to a lot of gold, but changing his mind, going for the Blink Dagger now on Centaur. We'll see if Tidebound want to get a little bit more aggressive now. As a result, Shiro actually pops the smoke, the dust on the other side, though. They know that he has the Shadow Blade, don't have the vision required. They do find Y instead, though. Another sharpshooter kill. Man, oh man, Crit is farming up those fantasy points today.
And this is all the setup for Roche. Amar with the amp damage, with the goo. They've got Curse of Avernus. This is nice and easy.
Nothing to say. Oh, he's going to get Epicenter Burrow Strike as well. Crit in the vicinity. In addition, Hook Stop comes. It's going to be close, though. Nothing to say. Just able to get out. And again, this Roche is really all that Falcons care about, and they're going to secure it now officially.
They have to pop so much in escape, right? If there's a Hoodwink ult there, the Puck is 100% dead. That only worked out because Crit had Sharpshooter on cooldown from the previous kill, which is, fortunate for Nothing to Say, but at the same time also showing that Falcons keep finding the moves back to back. so you don't get much time to breathe. For a team that's got a reputation in this tournament for good reason, and in general of playing like slower and choking out the map, I feel like today Falcons are deliberately playing a higher pace against this opponent.
Yeah, for sure.
Just seemingly the right approach, at least so far, against Tidebound in this series. And again, I would argue a large part of it is them exploiting the support duos that Tidebound has picked in both games, just not having that much kill power. So whenever we get into the skirmish mode, Crit's Hoodwink is just having more impact than the enemy supports combined. He's actually offering those kills.
And we're talking about Nature's Prophet. I feel like you haven't said that statement the entire year. But that is definitely the case in this game, too.
Wisdom again for side of
They
Falcons.
will take it. And on the other side, the sharpshooter makes it a little bit more difficult as Crit's going to continue to stand inside. Burrow strike a little bit too late, but at the very least, they will secure their own shrine
Is under attack.
as well. So 3.5 minutes on this Aegis. Are you surprised with the Aegis onto Amar?
No, I think it's the perfect choice. I think Abaddon doesn't need it, this game, with how it's played out. And Sinking has BKB and Amar. A lot of the time when Falcons play with Bristleback, Amar is playing almost as the carry of the game. So they're going to send him in front, and he can create all the space in the world knowing that he cannot die twice. So I don't mind it. I think it's good. He's level 18.
Yeah.
Top net worth in the game. Sounds like a good Aegis carrier to me.
And he can certainly hit buildings as well.
Classic Amar fashion, he's of course running Seeing Red. We haven't talked about that. A lot of offlane bristles like the Snot Rocket, but Amar wants to get up close and personal.
The fortification comes out on this tier 2, and it's just a matter of time.
I wouldn't mind seeing Falcons go high ground here.
Already?
Yeah, I understand there could be some concern with if you get caught on the back foot and you have to run away and then you get glimpsed back in. But I really struggle to see the side of Tidebound killing this Bristle twice. I think they can at least burn the Aegis and see how much they can get. They have Song of the Siren, Aegis, Abaddon. It's difficult to deal with them. But
so far playing it safe.
Yeah.
They have 2 tier 2s down now. Only the bottom lane remains as Planet currently pushing that out. He's working on an Aghanim Scepter for the Prophet. So Silver Edge now up for Shiro. And like you said, this is against the Bristleback, whose top net worth has the Aegis. Will they even have remotely close damage to bring him down?
That's what's kind of interesting about this game state is Falcons, I think, are... I'm not going to say they're peaking right now, but I think if both teams just farm for another 5 minutes, I actually think that's good for Tidebound. You want Puck to get to more critical mass, like get level 20 talent, to start getting next damage item potentially. Currently going for Yules, though, so that's not all that scary. You want Shadow King to get crit. We want him to be able to kill these tanky boys, and so far doesn't really have it. Now the Tormentor for Falcons, so this is the upgraded Song of the Siren, much more healing. And also regenerates mana. Largely irrelevant in this game. But
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's percentage-based.
the healing is good, the mana regen is...
Oh, yeah, that...
I don't think that...
But percentage-based healing, when you have 3 strength or 3 tanky heroes that are your cores, is insane.
It's
combo.
very good. So as an example, it heals currently 6% max HP per second. So on Bristleback, what's that? That's like 150? Not bad. It's like 2 hearts.
I thought heart was bad, though.
Well, 2 hearts is good, but you can't do it.
Okay, gotcha. Skeeter finds an opening, snaking with the ensnare. And this will be the death of Planet. Still working on that Axe. And yeah, it looks like Falcons are going to be pretty content with the 2 tier 2s down as the Aegis expiring in 15 seconds. But this is going to open up Tidebound smoke now as they look for an opening. BKB, though, for Amar. That's going to replace the Aegis. So he's going to look to potentially pop this smoke from Tidebound as they make their way into their own jungle, which has been infested now by Falcon members. And there's a Crimson Guard.
I'm not sure about this Crimson.
It's okay. He's going Ags next. We're going to see Cart this game. I promised it to all the viewers.
I feel like
Let's hear it for Cart, everybody. Yeah.
Do you think the Crimson Guard is worth it?
I mean, there's a lot of physical damage.
There is, but
and it's good for high ground with the tower, theoretically.
There are some benefits. I just feel like the cart is what is... I can't believe I'm saying this in a cast. I feel like that is the potential difference maker in this game where Shadow Fiend seems like he needs help being brought into good positions in the fights and dealing the damage, or if nothing else, you can use it as a save. The Crimson, you're delaying that a lot more. It's definitely not a bad choice, but I'm not sure it's the best. Anyway, might just get there regardless and get the cart. 4,000 gold shouldn't take 50 on all that long. Probably 5 or so minutes, maybe 6. But that will... Effectively, that will be after next Roche.
Yeah.
So that timing is unfortunate.
Snake King's getting pretty farmed now. Has a Solar Crest with drums and Force Staff. Will be getting Greaves relatively shortly. This is a support hero, Cinderin.
He has 140 CS.
If we transported this image back 6 years to you, would you have a heart attack seeing that as a support player?
I would have a heart attack at seeing how big the map is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, maybe a heart attack is a very big statement, Shan. Relax. We're all
about that.
I would be surprised. Now Naga is no stranger to farming. Like, this isn't a new thing that support Naga gets farmed. But obviously, when the map is bigger like this than a couple of years back, and you are in control, Naga is one of the most oppressive heroes, which is why this hero gets banned so much. Because whether it's played in a support or core role, the illusions are low cooldown scouting tools that push waves non-stop, so you always have to take care of that. Naga is Helm of the Dominator 2.0, right? The illusions just do the same thing as those Doms do by pushing out waves non-stop, farming for you, letting you scale. You can buy any items.
He's effectively a core. I mean, he's only 3k behind Malrine, for God's sake.
Yep.
Pretty impressive.
And that's probably the reason Malrine isn't ahead of at least Centaur, is because Naga is taking some space. Yeah. Otherwise, Sand King will get more, but he doesn't need to.
Sharing is caring.
Curious to see what Snake King will do after the Greaves, because I think we can already start thinking ahead for that. There's nothing indicating that he will stop farming. And 14k net worth already. What is a good item here for the support Naga? Dagger. I guess you could get Hex.
Oh yeah, Hex would be good.
Against the Puck. Plenty of options.
Or both. Blink Hex.
Yeah.
Just become Shadow Shaman yourself.
If he keeps farming at this rate, he will be 6 slotted at minute 50. So.
Well, Shiro has Daedalus, so damage definitely online for Tidebound if they can get the connection. That's the big if right now. Falcons will smoke up. Looks like Tidebound might want to be doing the same here relatively shortly.
Parasma. There's some big damage upgrades here for Tidebound. This feels like finally they have some tools that they have been lacking for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
If they actually do connect, I believe in their lineup to now be able to kill some of the cores. But the connection is the big question mark. How do you get Shadow Fiend into position when you don't have the cart yet? Centaur can go for a blink stun, but you have counterplay from Song, you have counterplay from Aphotic Shield. BKB on Bristle. I mean, Bristle just doesn't die, right? BKB, Pipe, Lotus, and another Plate Mill.
This is basically full timer Roche as well. So,
yep.
That benefits Tidebound. They've had time to kind of catch up a bit in terms of getting the items they feel are the next power spikes for them.
Still won't have the cart on spawn.
Let's talk about cart again.
If Falcons want to force this now, they know it's up because it couldn't have been any slower than this.
And we'll see if they want to try to contest this or if they want cart. What is more powerful, second Roche or cart? Only one way to find out, ladies and gentlemen.
He can't afford it now. They're going to smoke. So, big moment here for the side of Tidebound.
Oh yeah, he's getting it on the way. Workhorse about to activate. The crowd is going to cheer so loudly when it's in his inventory. There we go! We got the Workhorse cart! enter the cart. Nothing can harm you any longer. Now, of course, he needs a BKB to be able to use it properly, Cinderin. There's still ways to go, but the important thing is he has the cart now.
You and I thought the crowd at this event was going to be cheering for killed Dominator creeps, but it turns out it's the actual Centaur.
That's right.
Not the dominated one. The scepter in hand, the smoke, highly uneventful, just breaks and they're not really following up on it. But the standoff begins. Now, this ward that they've placed above the Roche pit here for the side of Tidebound could be really powerful, but, well, if the fight gets pulled away from there, it doesn't do very much exactly.
I really hope this cart does something, or else we really did a shitty cast.
I think either it's instrumental or it's completely irrelevant. One or the other. It needs a polarizing result here. It needs to not be okay.
I mean,
we want a big play.
Yeah.
Or we want it to be complete.
Yeah, Faith Beyond is no stranger to this, as we talked about, so we're not worried about the execution. It's more, will he have the opportunity? As Falcons, with this 14K lead, pretty massive.
I think it's worth pointing out the win expectancy graph of this game has flatlined in the last 10 minutes. Falcons were gaining and gaining and gaining, and now we're kind of stuck in this 3-1 favorite stage, which I think I could get on board with. I see a possibility for Tidebound to pull off a good fight, but definitely Falcons are in the driver's seat and have the easier to execute strategy at this point. Shiro almost has Pike now, another big item for him. We're talking about his inability to hit stuff. That will help.
Yep, Roche. Belch is in their face again.
They've got 1 minute to do this before he is tired of being here.
That's true. If they can delay this. And Lamar now outside the pit, want to get to the triangle of Tidebound. That's Planet being pursued in his own base. Oh my goodness. Burrow Strike Sharpshooter, it's enough. Planet actually out for 50 seconds with no buyback, so this is actually a 4 versus 5. I don't know how. He did not feel safe in his own base, and I can see why now. But still, Falcons not forcing the issue onto Roche. Want to capitalize on any potential mistakes. You can see the wave is already pushed in the mid lane, so perhaps forcing Tidebound back to base is what they do.
Yep.
And they're going to be pounding on this tier 3 rather. With the illusions to follow suit. And Shiro and the company, this is going to be a mass TP for Tidebound. And immediately Falcons just go straight towards the pit. Although, like you said,
he's leaving.
Roche is leaving. His home has now changed. It is summertime Roche, heading to the south, where closer to the equator, nice and warm.
And Falcons are already set up better in this area than Tidebound, courtesy of being there first. So once again, feels like they have things under control. Snaking will keep pushing out lanes with these pesky Naga illusions. And sure, you do have Nature's Prophet to try to do the same thing, but it just takes him longer to do it, and it's a bigger commitment. Using teleport every time puts you on that cooldown where you can't connect to your team. Naga just spawns the illusions, sends them out, and stays with the team. Always available for the save.
Yep, true.
Yeah. Do they have any smokes left is the question on Tidebound. They don't have anyone in their inventories, so it's difficult for them to access this area, but at the same time, Falcons also uninterested. This has effectively been a 3-minute Roche fight without hitting Roche.
Well, Roche
and without hitting each other. So
the old Roche off, but this time in a different area.
Oh, yeah, we had this forever in the corners.
Yeah.
Man.
I love this current Roche, though.
Yeah. It's good.
All right, Tidebound on the high ground. You can see the illusions continually spotting them.
Yeah, it's not
just
only the
daring
Naga. It's also the Abandoned Radiance.
Oh, Stampede. Okay, Epicenter comes in from out. He pops the BKB as well. As Bach looking for somebody to use on his cart. He's going to be applied some pressure. Pops the Blade Veil. Nobody really wants to touch him now, though. Gets rooted up onto the high ground. Nothing to say. They're trying to take out the Abaddon, but he activates his ult just in time and heals up to full as a result. There's the cart onto the Shadow Fiend. He'll be able to get on his ult. The Centaur dies first inside of his own cart. The Shadow Fiend follows suit, and just like that, it's 4 dead for Tidebound, and Falcons lose nothing. That wasn't even close. The cart didn't do it.
Maybe they'll get one more chance, but it will be against a man advantage now. Aegis as well as Banner Wonder who they'll put the Aegis on. Saw Skinner take a lot of damage in that engagement, but obviously stay alive. It will be Amar again. And it's sieging time. You've got plenty of time. You've got 50 seconds before Shiro's up, so I think high ground already is on the menu. They're barely even scratched. All their heroes are looking full right now, and they still have Song. So in reality, that wasn't even remotely close. Now Hex comes out for Hoodwink. He almost has Refresher on the Naga.
This was the previous fight, of course. I mean, the fact that the Disruptor gets taken out before the fight really begins kind of spelled the doom for Tidebound, and didn't have enough money to buy back and TP in. So Falcons capitalized. Now they're up 24K with the Aegis advantage, and now pushing that bottom lane. Can Tidebound do anything to repel the forces of Falcons? This is going to be one lane for them extremely easily.
Not exactly a carbon copy of the previous game, but it's feeling really similar overall. Similar time for the overall high ground, going for the killing blow here at about 45 minutes. Executing the map better.
He gets broken, but just going to shrug it off. The second lane in the sights for Falcons. Oh, onto the puck, the bushwhack to follow, the save! The cart saves the puck! Gonna try to turn this around, but where is the damage coming from exactly? Nature's Prophet in the midst of all of this, trying to TP out, but the Burrow Strike connects, bushwhack to follow, that'll be the death of the NP. And again, 3.5 minutes on the Aegis. Falcons have plenty of resources to work with as Amar looks like he's going to finish off this second barracks very shortly. Another Hex, the Burrow Strike actually misses, but they find the connection. On to nothing to say. The Stampede is not enough. He is out for 90. No buyback. As Falcons now to the third lane to try to get Mega Creeps and close the door in this upper bracket match against Tidebound. And it's looking like it's going to be a 2-0.
What a stellar performance this game has been from Crit on the Hoodwink.
Bach gets on the Hood Stomp to try to break the Abaddon, but he already has his ult on his Amar, just destroys Y. Cart onto the Shadow Fiend in retreat. They just call GG, and just like that, Falcons 2-0 Extreme in this upper bracket match.
And this individual game more so than the first, not even remotely close when you look back at it. Tidebound maybe had one singular successful move, ending the game with 5 kills at minute 45. Falcons in complete control the whole time, and as I was saying, for me, Crit, total standout performance of the Hoodwink. The way they played the map together, the Sand King and the Hoodwink, I feel like was what dictated almost everything that happened. So the overall strategy for Falcons is pushing waves with Bristle, push in waves with Naga, push in waves with Abad and Manta, and then Hoodwink and Sand King, whenever heroes split up around the map trying to find farm or deal with the problems, they pick them off. So an absolutely incredible performance here from Falcons, and a series that you and I entering today were like, we were unsure how to place this one. I think maybe the previous series were a little bit more going the way we expected. This one we didn't know. We thought it was going to be 3 games. It wasn't.
Yeah, it feels like Falcons have really leveled up as you hear the crowd cheer as they exit their booth, but just a masterful performance. And it felt like Tidebound just, I don't know, didn't look like the same team, but maybe some nerves getting to them. Of course, we have 2 TI winners, so I doubt that that's the case. Either way, Falcons really showing up in this series, 2-0ing Tidebound. And well, we did see the cart for Faith Beyond. Unfortunately for them, it just wasn't enough. Falcons completely starved Tidebound out of the map the entire game. I mean, this felt like a prototypical Falcons game from, let's say, 3-4 months ago.
Yeah, just that. Again, relative to the length, to the game length of this patch, this is equivalent to Falcons winning in 30 minutes half a year ago, right? Like this was way below their average game time of the tournament, sitting at about 54 minutes. So today, both the games they won, they did it about 10 minutes faster than they do on average, and against an exceptional opponent. So.
It sounds like we have an interview with Amar.
Thank you, Sunsfan. Amar, is there any better feeling than winning games of Dota on the TI main stage?
I mean, I had these games before, and winning these games are nice, but you're still looking forward for the grand final.
You got your eyes on the prize then. Well, I do want to ask you, is it a little bit different this time now that you've moved into the drafting and captaining position? Is that a little bit of extra pressure? Because we have seen some pretty strong reaction from you in your longer, more stressful games.
Oh, I mean, it feels nicer this time because you know, when you put the music in settings, it's very like all these drums. So when I'm captaining and drafting, it's a very nice feeling actually.
Good stuff. All right. Well, last time you met Tidebound, it didn't go quite this well. So was there anything about the series last time that you learned and you were able to take forward and get you this pretty clean win the second time around?
I think it was stop throwing, because we were throwing a lot and we were going 1 hour games for no reason, and now we just played 2 fast games like compared to before, you know. So that's the good part.
Absolutely. And any word for your teammates who have done so well, and also for Tidebound, which you've now knocked down to the lower bracket? You know, like, how do you think they played in this series, and do you think we'll see them bouncing back later on in the tournament?
I mean, words Tidebound, I still think they're gonna. I mean, they're still strong, you know. Like, I don't think because they lost to us, like, something, they can still go through some strong lower bracket run. And for my team, you know, like, step up because I'm carrying every game. Kappa.
Beautiful stuff. All right, I have one more question for you. This one is about the upcoming series we have on our hands. It is BB versus Nigma. So do you have any words for that series coming up, and who are you supporting for? Who do you think is going to win?
Crowd, cheer for Nigma. All energy to Nigma.
Thank you very much, Amar, and congratulations, Amar and Falcons, for moving forward here at TI.
Top 6 secured for Falcons and Amar there on the main stage. And anyway, well, we'll say credit where credit's due. He might have taken this team on his back, because that was an incredibly strong performance from Amar on this bristleback, and at times he did look like he was the carry coming into this game. I think this is a game, if we take it back to the start, Kezu, it was a little bit more smooth for Tidebound during the lanes. It felt fairly even.
I mean, they did better, but I still feel like they did not get enough out of the draft with the heroes that they had, right? You have strong lanes with the SF, you have a Nature's Prophet who wants to go around, find TP kills. They ended the game with 5 kills in total. This is what I would expect them to have in like the first 10 minutes alone with their heroes. It's just not enough. And yeah, of course, as I kind of get through it, these are my highlights from Crit, because this hero is so strong. Like Hoodwink, all these sharpshooter kills that this hero just gets overall are just really, really strong.
And this fight in particular was quite brutal, because they got a really good static storm at some point, and it looked like there were signs of life to it. But in comes Malorian with the epicenter on the side, Abaddon tanking through everything with the Aphotic Shield, and SF was the last to join this fight because, I mean, he was just farming up his souls because he had died prior to that by a minute, and it's just way too hard to take. This fight for me was very telling of what Tidebound's game would look like. They were just going to get kited, they weren't going to have enough damage, and their puck may be a little bit slippery at that stage in the game, but that was corrected by a Hex.
It felt like Falcons, they were just very proactive, right? Like around the 18-minute mark, when you are killing that Centaur, there was like a 2,000 gold lead, but it was the difference between Centaur and then the next core. Like that economy was so critical for them to snowball the game.
I felt like Bach maybe fell a little bit short, and I mean, it pains me a little bit because I feel like he usually does very well. But his item build, I wasn't too much of a fan really. Like, sure, you have the pipe, but I feel like they needed a Blink a bit earlier to like help in the game. He went for a Crimson, which I understand people like buying it against the Sand King Aghanims because it works against the Stinger. But even then, I feel like there was just something missing today that I saw from them that they had a few days ago.
Look at the just support duo, right? Nature's Prophet, Disruptor. They want to join engagements and take fights. But then you've got a Centaur who's on one side, Shadow Fiend farming another side, and Puck, is he going to coil a Bristle and kill him? No. Is he coiling an Abba and killing him? Not really. Like, it's so difficult for any play to be made. So Falcons, as long as their support duo is very proactive, especially Crit on his Hoodwink, you are going to feel that this game is close to unplayable for Tidebound.
It just feels that today they didn't bring the kind of draft cohesion that we've been seeing from them from the road to the International. It felt like mostly it came from their support duo, not necessarily having the ability to play make enough or do enough damage, but a couple of their key heroes got banned out, the one in particular being Ancient Apparition, which I think opened up for a lot of their own combo plays on their own timings. They couldn't find a hero that would replicate what AA did for them in that draft, and it really showed, because then they were looking towards Shiro's hero to correct for some of their side lanes not being built the way that they wanted to, and Shiro didn't get the kind of games that we're used to seeing from him.
Yeah, we also saw Shiro heavily targeted for a large portion of this game. The draft, we were talking about how we wanted to see the 4 Protect 1 coming out from Tidebound, and therefore with their strength, having Shiro be the carry, the ultimate carry of the game. And he just didn't get the chance, Effie.
No, he didn't. And I understand why they went for the last pick, Shadow Fiend, but it was all on him and he could not do that much. This is a beautiful smoke from Falcons. They were really on top of making sure SF couldn't have a game. They pre-prepared for this. They were waiting there for about 10 seconds. They smoked 20 seconds prior to that. They killed him. 1 minute later, they also bring their carry to this play. They go and they set up around to where they think the SF will farm and just make sure he doesn't get a good entry into that game.
A key thing in both those clips, they did have scan available. So if you're walking up the high ground at a 40-minute mark, you have scan and you're the carry, you probably should be using it because you have to expect the enemy to be there. So it really felt like Tidebound just wasn't on their A game today, and you can clearly see Falcons very clean 2-0.
Yeah, very clean 2-0. Clean work from the support. You already mentioned it, Kezu, but Crit's Hoodwink definitely did a lot of lifting.
No, I feel like he plays so well on these heroes. And I mean, it's always set up in the draft too. Like the heroes Malrine plays, he will set up the stun, he needs the follow-up damage. And like with what Effie is saying, like they missed this from Tidebound. They did not have this on their position 4. And we can see it here. You have your Blink stun, you have your Boomerang, you get your Sharpshooter, boom, next kill. Like they just go together every time. They get this mid-item timing from the Ancient stacks, they speed up Malrine. Now he plays with the support, and you will just see it like in all of these clips. It's just succession, one after the other, and every time this guy don't miss. Like even here, you know, he's stampeded.
He
he's
did
walking
miss the
away.
bush, just
He didn't hit the sharpshooter. That's all we care.
Okay.
And the last one too. This is like already in these couple minutes they killed what 4, 5 cores within the span of like 6 minutes. Here, let's see another one. And the last one to top it off. See you later. Like Crit, you know, this guy, he's played for years. He's so good. I'm sure many people would like to see him lift the Aegis. I feel like their chances look pretty damn good this time around.
They do look very good. I will say a lot of people probably got inspired for potentially getting some kill steals in there, but this was all kill secure. This was needed damage coming out from the Hoodwink. Very well played, of course, by Crit. And we heard Amar joke about it on stage, and he did say Kappa at the end, saying, you know, team, step it up. I'm carrying everybody on my back. But Chigov, I believe you got some proof that he might just have done that?
Yeah, we did find the exact minute in the game in which does support that he is the carry of the team, because if we look at the 26-minute 30 mark, he does have more net worth than his carry player. Thus, he is the carry. That's how it works in Dota, of course. And I think mainly from Kezu's videos, like we just saw the clips, all of those plays was Sanking plus Hoodwink or the Naga Siren. You never really saw the Bristle or Ava having to be involved. And because of that, 26 minutes into the game, both your offlane and your carry have equal economy, equal ability to take a fight if they want to, but they didn't even need to. Like, what we just witnessed is the perfect recipe of Falcons winning a game. Like, you need to try and break this, because this is not the way to do it. You cannot allow both of these players to tank up, to farm up, and to allow their pretty much 3 players to break the map.
That pipe pickup by him as well was quite big, because there were damage issues on Tidebound. Like we saw them trying to make plays, like going for the glimpse back into static storms and having it fail, having a hero just sit there and not die. When you bring the pipe into the factor and your main damage dealer is Puck plus the static storm, you don't really have that much going for you. And when you're creating an early game tempo kind of lineup, you need to make sure that your damage exists in multiple forms, because one aura can just counter your entire team.
Yeah, and what I love about Falcons is that I feel like they can change their roles. Like in one game you have Amar, who's the playmaker with the Mars, in the next game it's Malrine, but it's always one guy who does it to make space for the others. And that's why no matter which draft they have, they change a few heroes, but they can always run the same recipe with success.
Yeah, and a great success it was. I think it was around minute 18 when Tidebound killed someone on the side of Falcons. And since then, the game lasted quite a while still afterwards. It was 44 minutes total. They did not get another kill to their name. So that was quite the struggle and the damage issues that we already indeed pointed out. Quite obvious there, so a lot to work on for Tidebound. For Falcons, obviously a smooth 2-0, and with that, I want to hear how their mood was being in the game, because we're going to have a little listening.
Use the SF one on me, guys. Stampede,
I'm going more.
I'm fine.
I'm zoning SF. No pike on SF.
I'm chilling.
Prophet here. He's canceling.
You finish on Furion.
I'm going.
He used cart.
I'm going on the side, guys.
cart. He will cart him. I'm going on center. Yeah, I'm killing center.
I'm fine. I'm going more. I mean, it feels like they were pretty comfortable.
Oh, they were absolutely chilling for sure. Even like at the end, he will cut him. He will like that's like the only thing. It's like there's a save coming out, but no, their team fighting is very good. They feel good in the game. It shows.
I mean, if the communication is that clear and nobody's really yelling and people are content to not talk that much during a team fight, I think that's a very good sign.
One critique. Spinner said here. Like, what's that? Where could that? Like,
Maybe he said here plus ping.
If he pinged, that's great. But with no ping, then could improve. He's good.
Critical mistake here.
Critical mistake.
Or he just assumes that the map awareness of his squad is so good that everybody knows where everyone is at all the time.
Fair play. Good answer.
Fair play.
I can't remember. Congratulations.
I will say this series in a vacuum, we saw a clear trajectory from Falcons from having faced Tidebound before, having learned from that, and now coming back and taking the 2-0. I do wonder how do we feel about their power level going in further now that they're top 6?
They're scary. I mean, we heard it from NTS's interview before the series. Even though they beat them, he thought they were the strongest team in the tournament. And I can see why. Like, their laning is strong, their macro is strong, their net worth game is ridiculous, and the heroes that they play are just despicable to play against. I mean, having to deal with Sand Kings and Abaddons and Bristlebacks, like, they could potentially win this whole thing.
And I think also if a team that is very strong comes into TI, if they do well in like their opening match, like this round, I feel like usually when they do well here, they continue to really do that. Because Amar, he's a bit new to like captaining and drafting, but going to the TI stage, winning your first game, feeling good, and we heard it just now, like they were very cool and calm. I think this is a very big boost for them.
A very big boost for them indeed, and I'm sure that Tidebound's gonna have a good shot in that lower bracket as well if they can recover from the loss they suffered today. Now, we are gonna get a little bit of a treat, but of course there is a short film contest, and we're gonna look at one of the submissions. It's Dead Inside. The cat distribution system is at work, and that one is definitely one of my favorites. But of course, there will be plenty more to look at over the course of the next 4 days. 3.5, I should say, or maybe a little bit less, because it should be now 3 1/4. Because we only have one more series coming your way today. Of course, it's time to jump into that one. We are going to get ready for BB Team versus Nigma Galaxy, a best of 3 and another series takeoff that has already happened in the group stages.
Yeah, and I think we need to ignore a little bit of group stage based on the fact that Tidebound look really dominant. They come to here. I want to copy paste that to this series as well.
Okay.
I want to see how much teams have changed in the 2-3 days. And I think hopefully based on Amar's interview as well. And also I believe they had the biggest cheer this morning. Nigma?
Oh yes, they did.
Of all the teams.
I make sure to turn up the volume. Me and Owen were listening, like who gets the biggest cheers. It was actually a little bit more Nigma Galaxy favor. The second one I would say was Falcons.
Ooh,
yeah. I feel like Extreme were also.
Oh, Extreme were actually very loud as well.
I was a bit surprised, but I feel like they deserve it.
Yeah. I will say, Nigma Galaxy at the International, guys. This has never happened before in the history of Dota 2, Effie. Never.
That is wild to think about, considering the players on this team. But it's true. Under this banner, they have not made it to an international. They haven't even been close. They haven't been doing well in qualifiers either. But here they are, bringing incredible games out of the road to the international, having these like really long fought battles, these really big throws, these wild lone druid games. Like, they are back in a big way.
I mean, the last time we saw the King Sumail at a TI, I'm pretty sure was with OG. This is like years ago.
2021.
This is crazy. Like, this is literally 4 years ago. He played for like a completely different team. So yeah, just seeing them back in action and some of the other players too, of course, it's great.
And they hold on to that magic. Slightly different roster, of course, but that magic that this squad had, it is still definitely there, as we could have seen during the road to TI. They had some fantastic games, Kazu.
No, they absolutely did. Like, I would even say that they surprised a lot of us, myself included, with what they were able to do. Not just with their strategy, but like their gameplay. You know, GH being able to pull out some of his signature heroes, some Caudle 5, some Ios here, his ETs, his Tusk. Ghost as well on some of the heroes with the LDs and Trolls, as we have here. Like, this is just a little bit of a summary of what I feel like Nigma play around. This is their strategy. If you look at the white bolded heroes, these are all the hard carries that Ghost plays. And it's not just about his pick, it's about how he's protected and set up. At the bottom, sure, just one lone druid, but its last pick completely destroyed the game. And you keep going up and up. There's a save, there's a heal, there's a save, a heal, 2 buffs, a save, a heal, more buffs. And in this clip, you can just see here, Ghost is super high net worth. GH already, he reflected the enemy units with a Lotus Orb, immediately hexed Pure, and now he threw another healing Lotus onto Sumail. Without these heals, he would have died. And with all this net worth and these buffs that they stack up onto Ghost, even in a game that kind of looks a little bit iffy, they just like bring it back, because this is what they play for the entire game. From that, the gameplay, set him up, buff him up, let him succeed.
I just think a really fun thing with Nigma is the fact that they do just all in on this idea. Like, you'll see Noob in the offlane, and other offlaners might want to scale more. He'll play always the utility or to jump in, and it's kind of like the power of friendship style in the team. Sometimes the calls can work, sometimes they don't, but they, no matter who makes the call, they're just fully committing to it.
Yeah, Noob in particular, I remember watching a couple of his games, and I was watching him as an offlane Earthshaker walk mid, minute 5, gank for his mid laner, and then go back to his lane. How many offlaners are doing things like that? It's a little bit of that mid lane DNA coming to his mind, thinking it would be a good time to rotate, but definitely not playing for himself in that sense.
Yeah, this team, it seems like the cohesion is there, the communication is there, and we must still think about Ghost maybe as the new kid on the block for this squad, but Tikov, Ghost, has got quite the experience under his belt.
Yeah, I think we always talk about the likes of Kuroki or Sumo on the roster, but when you look at Ghost and his TI history, he's also played in multiple regions, right? Like, he lost a couple SEA Open qualifiers. He didn't have a team for TI 10. He then moved to China, qualified through the closed qualifier, got 13-16. Moved to Extreme, didn't get through the closed qualifier, went back to SEA for like a fun stack with Raven, who now plays for Nemesis. And then after all of that regional shuffle and up and down turbulent, went to Nigma Galaxy. And the best thing, during all that, he had a 2-week trial on Nigma in between, I think, TI 12 and 13. Got kicked, by the way, after 2 weeks. He went to offlane. Then he stood in for them, got 3rd place as a carry, and then Nigma clearly went, wait, this guy's pretty good. And then a bit more longer, he's like, wait a second, now we bring him back. So it's between all of this history, he had a brief stint on Nigma, went to multiple regions, hasn't really achieved much, but then suddenly that one carry swap up to Nigma, and happy days.
What I'm hearing, T, is he isn't the problem, or wasn't the problem then.
He was an offlaner, so maybe he was.
We're going back to the who's the problem on Nigma.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Really good.
But right now, not a problem at all. Happy lad, doing well.
No, it's really cool to see how sometimes all it takes is like a player-team combination or a player plus player on his lane combination, and they just look so different, because the Ghost that you had watched in Chinese DPC from 3 years ago did not look like this Ghost.
No, the team has leveled up, I feel like, also here during the road to the International, and I hope we'll see that in action as well against their opponent. But their opponent, speaking of leveling up, we saw them level up. It was actually at the very end of a series that they had against P-Vision, where they qualified to be here at the International, and up until that series they did not win a single series against P-Vision. You could see their happiness after taking that win. Unfortunately, there was a casualty of war. That was Miero's keyboard. Miero, the calm guy, the guy that takes cold showers, That guy.
But this is why we love Dota, right? It's the passion. Like, they
Yes.
have this, like, internally, they had to win that series. They do it, and it's like, we've all played that game where we probably shouldn't have won it or whatever, we eventually do. Like, it's good to see the players have emotion. Some of them have no emotion. So getting to see it and how much it means, of course, it's the international. It means everything to the players.
Yeah,
that was really wholesome, especially because when we think of BB Team, we have seen them express emotion, just not the positive kind.
Yeah.
Very often. So
For once, they can actually. And I feel like this is what TI generally does to players. Sometimes, for the better, sometimes sadly for the worse. But this is just kind of the moments that you play for as a player too. You beat the team. They always beat you, and you're finally like, yeah, screw you. This time we got you, and you just make it happen.
Yeah, for context, that was a happy keyboard slam on the
It
desk.
was
we didn't really apply the context for that. It was a joyous, like, yeah, Cool.
No,
right.
they were incredibly excited, and rightfully so. They get to play here on the main stage, so it's time to bring them on, ladies and gentlemen. The first team here for the series, BB Team.
And we're back. BB Team. And we're back.
We got Pure, GPK, Miero, Save, and Kata Omi taking the stage here in Hamburg. And this team with so much potential, we always talk about their potential. Can this be their best result? Yet the pressure is on, the game faces are on, and we're gonna see if they can get some revenge from the team that started the road to the international. It was BB Team on the losing end. Let's welcome in Enigma Galaxy.
Choose wisely and crush those responsible. Enigma Galaxy.
Good vibes and hopefully some nice back and forth games, and that is what Enigma Galaxy has brought to the table in the road to TI. Every single series entertaining and fun to watch, sometimes maybe at the detriment of their fans, because they definitely make those heartbeats pump a little faster. But this time round on the main stage, it's been a while. I am happy they're back, and I am happy we are going to see them go head-to-head against BB Team, because I do feel that these two teams, Kezu, can bring it all.
No, they absolutely can. Like BB Team, like generally what we say about them, they're incredibly skilled individually. Maybe sometimes they fall a bit flat more on the team side. I think maybe Enigma Galaxy, without like trying to be like rude or anything, I think they're maybe the reverse. I think they're slightly less skilled players on some parts, but they have, the team mechanics, the way they play, the strategy. I think that is on their side, and that's what they should use today.
Yeah, I mean, the draft is so critical, right? I think we are looking, like Kezu's mentioned, I think if Enigma can get the correct draft and the good... I feel like we're downplaying them a bit too much with the vibes thing, but it kind of feels to be that case. Like when you watch them play, they've had, 4-hour-long games where they've been ahead in a couple of them, and then they kind of made some bad choices to make it more difficult. Like, it hasn't been the cleanest journey to get here. So again, I'm hoping in that couple-day break, they've identified a key, one problem, fixed it, and then they have all of that coming into this series.
Yeah, I can put it into a little perspective for you, T, if you want. They had one 0-2 loss against P-Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, every single series they played went the distance. It went all 3 games, and it weren't easy games either.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. We have had 3 2-0s today, so I'm hoping at least we get 1-2-1. So that is a promising statistic.
It is, and when we are looking at BB Team, Effie, we have to look at Miero, who has been a keystone here in BB Team's plays.
Yeah, all reliable Miero. I mean, this is the type of player that you want on your team in this kind of patch. And if we could pull up his hero pool here, I wanted to talk about, in particular, the Lycan, which I don't think will come through very often. But when you think about the most popular offlaners in this patch in the Lycan and the Beastmaster. This is his specialty. Like, Miro is the kind of offlaner who can play everything. As you see, he's 3-0 on Bristleback right now, but he can play every archetype of offlaner. If you need him to farm, he'll farm. If you need him to carry, he'll carry. If you need him to zoo it up, he'll zoo it up. You need him to play team fight and play that Magnus, he will do that for you. That's always been his biggest strength, and because of that, Save kind of has his pick of what kind of four he wants to play. If he wants to roam to mid, if he wants to maybe pick something to stomp the lane, maybe sacrifice Miro a little bit, Miro, his hero pool is there for that.
Yeah, and the key thing for him is he always finds that scaling. But whilst he's trying to be active, he's not active at the detriment of his farm. He's always making sure both are balanced nicely. And it also layers with the fact that both Save, Katomi, GPK, they are very happy to move around the map, make these kind of aggressive, to be fair, they're a very aggressive team. I was about to mention four players, but Pure as well. Like, he's happy to join a fight. At any minute, they will just collapse on you if you are out of position.
To me, also, to go back to Miro, to me, he's one of the most improved players over maybe the last 2 to 3 years. I always saw him in like the pubs. He was very good, but he was never really, I feel like, on the level where he started being maybe towards the end of last year. Like Miro was saying, he can play all the different heroes. He can make it happen. He will itemize how he needs. He sets up his other players, and that's what makes a great team, where you can enable each other depending on what the situation is. And most of these players we have on the stage, right, they're all very young. Like a lot of you Pures, Miros, they're like 21. Yeah. Like all of these players have so much room to grow as well.
And then we have GH.
Yeah,
my 30-year-old king.
It's Papa GH.
There's definitely, I mean, if you're looking at an average age, it is BB Team that is the younger team, especially compared to Nigma Galaxy. A lot of experience on the position 5 though for BB Team, with the oldest in the squad at 26. 4 TI appearances as well. When I look at this matchup though, I don't know why we haven't talked about it. GPK versus Samael, guys. That is the ultimate treat. I feel like when Samael came onto the scene, he was the prodigy. At some point, GPK, Kazu, was that prodigy as well.
No, he was for sure, and I feel like he kept that for a while, and then he tapered off. But since a few months ago, I have not seen this guy like lose a mid lane. I feel like he destroys everyone. He can play mirror matchup, and he will beat you back.
Yes.
So it doesn't really, and they play through it so well. So yeah, this matchup, I'm gonna keep a very close eye on it.
I agree. In terms of lane mechanics, GPK is the strongest in this tournament. It's just going to be about what kind of day they're having on BB Team, because they can be so hit or miss with how they play around him. Because I've seen him be thrown to the wolves at times, especially at TI. There have been TI main stage games where he's just getting camped by 3 heroes, and I don't know what's going on in the side lanes, but hopefully BB Team can get past that too.
A key thing as well is they're relatively honest mid laners, right? They're not really utilizing later picks in the draft. They're not trying to get the one up with a Huskar or something to try and beat their opponent. They are just picking, I want my Storm, I take my Storm. I want my Invoker, I take it. That shows confidence that your supports will be able to come to mid lane if there are counter matchups. So I think both players will have this logic of, I want my hero, I don't really care. We're not going to suddenly see a major shift on that, but I think the supports will be the game changer because they're so equally skilled. It just takes one rune contest, one smoke gank, one TP, and either of these players can break a game.
Also, I've seen a lot of games where Samael's just popped off, but then he won't buy a defensive item. Like a lot of the games during Road to the International, he'd be on Puck versus something like a Shaman. He'd be destroying the entire game, but not have like a Yules or a BKB or anything. Just go straight for that Blink Parasma. Then all of a sudden, one fight, he gets caught. He's dead. Suddenly, there's a big throw.
I mean, there's probably like, maybe it's because he often has like some Tusk or Bane, so maybe he's like really trying to like maximize, get that DPS going up. But like you're saying, when you miss this timing, it can really throw the game quite hard. So you have to make sure that like, you get through those mistakes, sort of like talk about what is it that you want. Can you play with me to like enable me? Because yeah, both these teams, I feel like when they play well, they play incredibly well, but they both have tendencies of missing as well.
So with that in mind, do we want, especially on the side lanes, do we want those lanes to be somewhat freed up, if you will, for the supports to have the space, Tigov, to roam, to help out their mid laner, if it's that important for that mid lane to do well?
I mean, it's natural based on, we saw the hero pool from Miro. A lot of his heroes can be independent, right? Yeah. And that's going to be the key thing. What will Noob play? What will Miro play? If Noob's needing a hero that needs help, we're testing the crowd here.
There is only one a hometown hero here. Other than Kezu on the panel, you know, we'll give him flowers. But
Give me some.
come on, you gotta give cheers where cheers are due when Kuroki is on the screen inside Hamburg, inside Germany here in the Barclays Arena. It is so good to see him back on the stage.
I like this mini game of show him into cheer, into don't show him, into show him again.
Let me guess. Are we going to show him again?
We will definitely show him.
Oh, I bet we're gonna show him. I'm sure he
How many
realized
will he
by
catch
now.
on, do you think?
I think that smile kind of shows
Yeah.
that he realized that already. That is for sure. I do want to talk a little bit about the coaches and if you guys have more information about what kind of style of coaches both of these are. We got Bulk on the side of BB Team, of course, and Kuroki on the side of Nigma Galaxy. To be honest, Kuroki hasn't been a coach for that long yet.
No, but of course, there's no point even trying to reference his experience. I think starting though with Bulk, I would say for BB, they've had a turbulent year, right? Bulk has not turned up to every tournament that they've played. He's sometimes been online, sometimes been ready. So it's like, I think they are very different in the fact that 100% from Kuroki, Bulk's maybe 75% due to like visa issues and that kind of shenanigans.
Oh, we did see GH putting his headset on proper, rubbing his hands, and it's exactly the right time to do that as we are ready to jump into the series.
BB Team versus Nigma Galaxy. Game 1.
Is this the most awaited series of the day? I think for me it is. I will say the predictions that people had inside the client are heavily BB Team favored. I'll tell you right now, BB Team is sitting at 78% with Nigma Galaxy on 22. But with in mind the series that they've had in the group stages, this should be, in my head, one of the closest ones.
Who did you predict for this one, for your fantasy?
Uh-oh.
Go on, Shiva. Who did you put down? Come on. Tell the arena.
Leave her alone.
No comment.
Okay, so 1B. All right, Kezu, who did you put?
BB Team.
Effie, who did you put?
I didn't have a mouse and keyboard, so I didn't do my prediction.
Am I the only one to have put Nigma in my... Okay, all right, my panel
you
is...
22%.
Yeah, wait, is it 22% just the arena, actually? Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a chance Mira would have put Nigma had she had a mouse and keyboard.
I absolutely would because I believe in I do. I'll tell you why. Because this is a triple Lebanese stack and they're my boys and I need them to do well.
That is true.
All right, let's focus our attention what's going on here with the draft as we are in it. We got BB Team Radiant and Nigma Galaxy on the dire side, and it is a shaker that gets picked up first by BB Team. We talked about respect for the mid laners.
Yep.
BB Team was like, yes, Shamil? Yeah, sorry, bud. No Puck, no SF, no Queen of Pain.
Yeah, this also just opens up a comfortable pathway to this being a mid Earthshaker. Like, it's mostly Nigma that's been flexing the Earthshaker to offlane more than any other team. It's just been an outright mid, but it works. If it works, it works, you know?
Yeah.
It does feel a little bit disrespectful, though, towards Nigma Galaxy supports, that they're not throwing a single support fan in there.
Well, that's true, but then use it, right? Like Nigma, they get like their free pickings maybe next phase, they get what they want. So, and we saw, I believe, this exact same opening in the series just now. You had the first pick Earthshaker. I believe it was Falcons responded with Beast. You have the option of flexing it if you want. Noob has played it a lot. I would say that this is one of his probably better heroes. I like him on Beast. I like him on Mars. You know, you get the team fight going, you make it happen. So I feel like Nigma should be pretty happy with how this is starting.
It also helped for BB. We mentioned that both GPK and Sumail kind of don't care picking their hero blind. When you ban like this and pick the Shaker with confidence, you're not overthinking it too much. It's enter the draft, be confident. But yeah, Nigma, they're going to be very happy having the Beastmaster. Noob, he excels, like Kezu just mentioned, when you can rally behind him. You don't want Noob on your team to be even in net worth or behind in net worth playing catch-up. That is the wrong way for Nigma to win a game. They need him to be, leading the charge, taking the early tower, having the early pipe, the aura, and then you keep skirmishing around him.
Yeah, and speaking of respect, the respect for the supports is still shown with the banning out of the IO. Nigma Galaxy has been one of the teams that have reoccurring IO plays in their road to TI, but not this game round.
Yeah, Keeper of the Light as well. These are two specific heroes that are only Nigma Galaxy, which is incredibly interesting because if you look at these bans coming out of BB Team, I don't think we've seen this replicated versus any other team. We've never seen like a triple mid laner ban into an IO ban in the second phase. It's usually, Beastmaster, Undying, Nature's Prophet,
Lycan,
Bane.
Find another mid just for the fun of it.
I guess I just really want to make sure that Shaker would have a good time, even though I feel like against Storm you're okay, but just opening up some options. Maybe there's something else. Maybe their two next supports are kind of susceptible to this. I think also when you do have Beastmaster yourself, it's really nice when people can come to your lane and help you out. You have this mid to play around. Maybe he gets a rune. We get some respect on the Hoodwink. I like that.
Okay, locking in the Muerta early on. Omar, he likes playing it. Against Shaker, having the AoE silence on the ground, even just hitting with a dead shot, like anything to combo break Shaker's initiation will help a lot.
Also, just a very strong lane. All of it, like if you can deadshot back the support hero into the boars, they're dead.
They should be pretty happy. I mean, because they have played it before. I personally have not been super impressed with Muerta yet. I think the stats were, 0-2. But, if it's one of your comforts, you can always make it happen. Remember, again, you're at TI. You want to be comfortable. You don't want to, feel too pressured or too stressed, forced out by, one band. So, all in all, I like it.
In regards to draft, though, we are seeing two of the same heroes that Tidebound drafted, right? The Shaker, the Disruptor. They quickly fell down a bit of a trap, right? Where they lacked damage. They weren't really able to kind of catapult themselves into the game. So I'm interested to see where BB changes to fix that.
I think they just have a different archetype of mid laner on BB. Like they have this Invoker Storm type of player who's always going to be able to output damage, whereas for NTS, he's more of that melee hero mid lane. Or that's what he's been doing for the last couple of years.
I like the Wind Ranger pick. It should be Save's hero, most likely. It's a hero that from the post 4 is quite good. When you do play the post 4 support with a Shaker, you like heroes that can stack the triangle, Wind Ranger, click one, power shot the other. You have long range, you get follow-up damage. I like what I'm seeing so far from both teams.
They have zero committal engagement, right? You can glimpse a guy, fissure him, power shot, and not a single hero is actually in proximity of dying. You're never close to the Raw, you're not close to the Muerta. So you can just keep whittling them down, and then you choose when to fight.
I was going to say, I think there's a definite chance of dying for the person that gets glimpsed.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Poor soul.
Yeah.
About support Wind Ranger, I feel like Save's the one who understands this hero the best, because I've seen a lot of games where he is rushing Shard, whereas a lot of other Wind Ranger players have neglected to think about it. They'll wait for Tormentor, they'll get it as their third or fourth item. But he has a good understanding of when they need this bonus catch and this bonus teamfight ability versus when they need something like a Vessel or a Solar Crest.
No, for sure. Save also, him and Miero, they're one of my favorite offlane duos. I think they both enable each other so much with the heroes they play, but also how they lane together. They win unwinnable lanes. They really make it happen. So Save for me is also one of the standout players when it does come to BB team. Now, if you're Enigma, another reason that this Wind Ranger is a bit annoying, I think some of GH better heroes, they're also melee, your Tusk 5, maybe your ET 5, they don't really lane well into Wind Ranger at all. I like the Phoenix a lot. I'm a big fan of this hero. I think this is AoE team fight, taking over ground against Shaker, the Disruptor as well, hero that wants to move forward, you drop the egg. I like it a lot.
It puts fights on a bit of a timer as well, because what you're mentioning, when you slam, when you Static Storm, that egg goes, it's can you kill during your spells? Is egg going to stun you? Or is there going to be turnaround potential? And it's additional buff ups. Phoenix support will happily buy more utility with Sunray, Beastmaster with auras. You're really just throwing kind of one hero into the fight, and Troll Warlord, he's going to happily play in front of all this. And is there enough kiting on BB? That's kind of the key thing. When you see a troll, you want to have multiple 4-staffs and good lockdown and ways to annoy him when his BKB gets low.
Actually, no, their kiting is not very good right now. They have to itemize for it, but their heroes don't naturally kite this hero, except sure a glimpse back. But for the most part, if that troll is on top of you, you're going to glimpse it back a few units away from you. And about the Phoenix, if you look at BB Team's heroes, who's really killing the egg here? If he just gets in the middle of the fight, Urshiker can't commit his body to hit it, Disruptor and Wind Ranger can't hit the egg, who's doing that for you?
It's quite hard. And I like that Nigma, they kind of took one step forward to pick the troll, because if you don't take it here, they're not going to give it to you last pick. Come on.
But also they're keeping the Beastmaster alive. It's still the mid and the offlane. If they were to pick mid or offlane here, of course, then you are kind of showing your hand very quickly. Then now BB can understand, okay, I can counter it. So they are preserving the flexibility of the Beastmaster.
And they're taking away a potential counter to the egg from BB Team, who could have looked towards picking that troll on their last pick, or that Ursa.
I will say the stat that we saw from the Troll Warlord, that seems pretty scary for BB Team as well. 100% win rate so far with 9 picks. That is quite
that's a pretty scary win rate. Yes. I'm not gonna lie. If you're a BB team, you should look to address this hero. You could put Shaker mid. There are some hard counters that I don't know if they're really happy to play. There's Doom. It's one of the best ones. You Doom him, obviously can't heal. It's hard to also buff up a hero who is Doom because he can't Satanic. Maybe they want to look for something else, a carry-to-carry matchup.
The problem with Doom though is the pacing of the game becomes very slow. It's the mid Shaker that needs to farm stacks. It's the Doom that needs to farm a Midas and then sell it and buy another item, sell it. and then Beast is buying Helm of Dom. Haha, the map is mine, right? It's the pacing on BB needs to be respected. The damage they have, sure they have a pick-off damage, but for big fight, it is a little worrying. But they do go for the Abaddon. I'm like, sure, it's there. You can frontline, you buy Radiance. Eventually, you'll be able to ignore the troll, kind of soak up his damage. But still worried about the first kind of 20 minutes of the game. If the lanes are even, I'm expecting Nigma to control a lot of the pace in this game.
If we're saying that BB Team doesn't have enough kite yet to deal with the troll, why isn't the Wind Ranger shard or the Fisher? Is that not enough?
It is. Not enough, but it's good building blocks to be able to kite him. But once Troll has a BKB, a Blink, and he's targeting the hero he wants, there's no issue, right? It's early on, yeah, it can be annoying. Shaker walks over, fishes him in laning phase. Windrunner has Windrun, but in the wider game, you're expecting the Troll to have that kind of instant jump, instant kind of wow factor of the fight.
Okay.
I wanted to say about the Abaddon that I like that he addresses the issue of a hero that can just kill the Supernova, because that looked like a big win condition for Nigma's fights. There was really nothing before this, so you could just Aphotic Shield the Spirit, you hit the Supernova, and if they go on you because you're the one hero hitting it, you've got your borrowed time. You're fine there. Also, you're playing against Beastmaster, so you can be that save for your Earthshaker. If he's getting roared in these fights, you just Aphotic Shield him, you're removing another one of their fight conditions. So this Abaddon pick solved two issues that Nigma were creating in their team fights. The issue of the roar and the issue of the egg.
I really want to see Nigma pick up Death Prophet, because as much as like we're seeing like Abaddon can do this to Phoenix and Shaker, sure, if you get more tempo, more pressure to just break the map, we've seen Sumo play it already, it's a good matchup against the Shaker. I think just have an element of go from Sumo, and this game can be, Nigma's to throw, I guess.
I think also for sure with them banning Weaver, it means that Beast is going into the off lane and not into the mid lane. I don't really see otherwise why you would want to ban this hero unless you want to keep up your own options. So it should be the Sumail hero we're looking at. Maybe it is the Death Prophet that you mentioned. It at least would. It's nice if you're Phoenix also if you have a dude that's going in with your Sunray, so you don't only play on egg.
And with the Giant and Weaver ban, they're expecting Abba to obviously be the off laner with a new carry being picked up for Pure.
I mean, BB Team, you want I don't know if I guess Abba could be the offlaner, but
well, they don't really have many seconds left in their bonus time.
Dawnbreaker is available, which could do enough to mitigate the early pressure of Nigma. You survive the odd fight or two, you Solar Guardian, then you reset. Suddenly, Abba's come online, but instead, a lone Druid.
I feel like that's a page out of Nigma Galaxy's book.
They have.
Oh, it really is.
100% win rate so far as well this tournament, and I know that in fact at least one of them was in the hands of Ghost.
I mean, Pure was playing this hero last TI as well.
Yep.
Like, they do look for games of their own where they can be that lone druid, but what I like that this lone druid is providing is that it's giving them tempo and a way to overrun Nigma, because sure, we talk about what happens when they group up together, but there's going to be a period of the game where Troll is just farming with his Battle Fury. He's not going to be fighting early, especially when there's like an Abaddon to counter the roar. What's the win condition there? So while he's farming, while that Beastmaster is like taking over a side of the map, if your lone druid gets a couple of items, you just play behind him, you can take everything from Nigma here.
I could see the DP that you mentioned. I could even see an Invoker, something that helps you deal with the lone druid in like some shape or form. I would not mind it.
There's that Invoker. Is Invoker for everyone now Helm of the Dominator Invoker?
Yeah.
For Sumail.
You go the Helm of Dom into drums, you're really strong together. You have so much Zoo already that's just like swarming the opponent. Lone druid is not that good against it. It's gonna need a couple of items. But I mean, I don't know if I like or dislike that BB Team took like maybe more what like Nigma, used against him to beat them. But I agree with Effie, and I just remember that he did play it a lot last year. And he plays it really well.
It's one of his heroes.
Yeah, you need a hero to play around. That's critical. A lot of their heroes are quite static. Lone Druid, he is the focal point. So it's just Nigma, you know that as well. If you can shut down the Lone Druid, a lot of their early kind of pressure comes from him. So I think I am expecting to see Nigma maybe rotate early onto him, try and stop Pure from having a good time in the early game, because a Lone Druid uncontested, we've seen what Ghost can do, but also a Troll uncontested, we see what he can do, and I think I prefer the Troll overall, personally.
I mean, it's 100% win rate. How can you go against it?
It has 100% win rate, being picked like on 18 to close it out, or on 24. I don't think we've seen it picked up this early. And this Lone Druid, when he gets the BKB on his bear, and in the scenario where BB team win their lanes and then early BKB on this bear, who's killing him? Who's fighting him? I don't see any heroes on Nigma being able to play into that timing in particular.
So we're putting a little bit extra pressure on the laning stage, especially for Nigma Galaxy to go well.
They really need it to, because if their lanes go poorly in any capacity, they could lose this game very quickly.
Lone Druid with like Aghanim's BKB and the toxic kind of rat situation can 1v9 this game. Like Effie's mentioning, like you have to roar it, you need the troll to be there. So like don't let Lone Druid get that much farm, but find the sweet spot to try and punish him like earlier. But
I have faith in Nigma.
You have
Galaxy.
faith?
I think this last pick Invoker, you get all this zoo, you have your Beastmaster, you go forward, you have your Ghost Troll with some Sunray and Egg and Alacrity. He's gonna make quick food of BB team.
And that's why you put BB on your fantasy.
Exactly.
There we go.
Game 1, Nigma, and then come back.
I see.
I mean, so far both of these teams, they do like the comeback regardless. You know, we have had some long back and forth games, so I hope we're gonna get one of those as well in our first game. Before we head to that game, though, it's time to look at our fan favorite. It's Kuroky standing by with Slags.
Absolutely. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We got Kuroky here on the stage for a quick interview. Gotta love that crowd, my man. They are here for you. All right. Now, you guys, thank you, Cry. Yes. Might not get to any questions here. We gotta wait for the 15-minute ovation, Ed. You guys are one of the best Bane teams out there, but you guys choose to ban it this time. Can you talk to me why that was so imperative for you guys to do, despite your 75% win rate with that hero?
We believe that they also really love the hero, so it's quite contested. And it's just an approach we took for now.
Understandable. All right. They are going to go ahead and sneak in that last pick of the Lone Druid. I know you guys know how to play that yourself. Are you nervous about that last pick?
We're actually aware that he practiced this hero on his Smurfs. My players met him in his pubs. I think he's going to play with the free items. I think, was it last year or 2 years ago, he played it pretty successfully. But let's see what happens.
All right. Who made that call for Invoker Sumail? Was that him? Was that you? How'd that come about?
We were discussing some heroes. I wanted the Invoker because I really love his Invoker. He's one of the best.
All right, my final one. Of course, we do have you here in Germany. Would you have any words to say to this crowd, perhaps in German, to everybody out here cheering for you boys here today?
Leute, enjoy the show. Wir geben uns Mühe. Danke, dass ihr hier seid. Und let's go.
Let's go! Thank you so much, my friend. Let's head into game 1.
Half a decade in the making, Nigma Galaxy have finally made it to the International. The road to TI is long and treacherous, Avery, but it's the longest most for GH and Kuro.
Oh, it has been a long time in the making. I mean, I can go back 6 or 7 years to when I used to coach this kid. I thought he was going to be on top of the world forever. Now he's at TI trying to reprove himself, a very different situation. And to me, that is the story of this series. Two teams who need to prove that they belong in that podium finish, that they can go on a deep bracket run here. And it all starts game 1.
A Sunstrike to start things off. Omar will take the first blood on Miro. Nigma start their TI debut over the last 5 years in a hot way.
These guys are going to be hungry this series. BB team need to be ready for some aggression, for some pace, probably some throws at some point. And then you need to make sure you close that out if you're either team in this series. We have seen both of these push games to the limit, and both of them have that game slip away. They have a lot of TI experience on both sides. Now's the time to put it to use. I really enjoyed these last 2 picks in the draft. Sumail Invoker versus the Pure Lone Druid. These are 2 players who, when you put them on this hero on a TI stage, they can absolutely just 1v5. We've seen the damage Sumail can inflict at TI. He is one of the greatest TI main stage killers in Dota history, and this is one of the ultimate late game heroes. And we saw what Pure can do on this Lone Druid when he had that Tundra run. He was the best Lone Druid player in the world at that time.
Despite all that TI experience, this team is coming into this matchup as underdogs, right? Matched up against BB team, a team who has also been working year over year over year. Particularly the duo of Pure and GPK have been working together for quite some time. They have been hunting this Aegis for so long together, and while they have had success in various tournaments, they just always cannot seem to close it out when it comes to TI.
Whoa, who's the underdog here?
I I think it's Nigma. Do you think otherwise?
I don't know about that. I have rated this team pretty highly all season, Austin. I think they are here to prove you wrong, but this is going to be a really tight match. As you said, I think both teams have a lot on the line, a lot of experience to go into it, and it's just about who brings more here today to try and push forward. Already, look at the way these lanes are shaping up. This Lone Druid is suffering on this lane early. That said, they can get aggressive on this lane, particularly those levels 3 through 5. You get the higher bear up, you can start to lay into noob. There's not a lot of sustain on this lane. I do think Nigma have answers for the Lone Druid in the mid game, particularly the Phoenix, the Beastmaster. If you want to just roar, go into him. Evoker Alacrity on Troll. Troll is a great hero versus the Lone Druid if you can just lay into the bear, take him out. I don't think this Lone Druid is a complete gotcha pick, but it could absolutely give BB Team a lot of tempo in this lineup. You combine it with the Abad and you start pushing down towers. You go high ground early in this game. We have not seen it a lot this TI, but it is absolutely in the cards here for BB Team if they can come out with a strong laning phase and gain a lead.
And what about our other side lane? Who do you give the advantage to in this matchup? Troll Phoenix versus the Wind Ranger Abaddon.
Troll Phoenix is a really strong lane. This is a lane that was run by China 2 or 3 years ago. They just spammed it. It's probably the best carry to get Phoenix through the laning phase. Nowadays, this hero is stronger, so the help goes a long way, but Save is he's a Wind Ranger master, man. He's probably the only guy at this tournament who's going to bust us out on the 4 position. I'm a big fan of this hero. Nobody, when you pick it, nobody on your team in a pub is a fan of you picking it. But once you perform, you prove them wrong. This guy knows how to execute on this hero. He can do a lot in these team fights, particularly if you land those shackles. Can absolutely be one of the best stuns in the game. He has that kill shot to put through. Can be a really annoying spell for Troll. Keep that in mind, right? This is a hero that likes to get low, try and pop ult at some of these last minutes. You get kill shot down, you're just out of that fight completely. I think this off lane is pretty strong for BB Team. I think BB Team is going to pull ahead in these lanes over the 5 to 10 minute mark, even if some of the early waves are a little rough for them.
And they are already doing pretty well for themselves, particularly that mid matchup. GPK is taking that one heavily. 21-5 CS score. Sumail rivaling him in denies, but a little bit behind in the CS. Another crash. Omar trying to go after the kill on a Pure before he himself dies. The scare back into the bear. They get the kill, and the Lone Druid does not go down. Now, Katomi, he's going to take a lot of damage for this one. It's right. He didn't see that coming. Where was the communication?
Did not call it out, just stood in place. Sumail drives it home. Huge win for him off that mid lane because he was losing that lane slightly to GPK. Meanwhile, Miro did get the kill on Ghost top. That was a huge pickup for this dual off lane for BB Team. And this Abaddon is going to have a really strong laning phase out of the gate. I mean, it's a great Abaddon game. You're removing Phoenix debuffs, you're removing Invoker debuffs, an annoying hero to all in if you're Troll, at least in the early and the mid game. You give him this kind of laning phase, that's where that tempo is going to come from. Got to look for more Sunstrike kills if you are Enigma Galaxy.
Now, we heard some of the experts talk about GPK. For you, is he the mid laner of all mid laners when it comes to that first 5 to 10 minutes, you think? Oh, Miro, he's going to be run down here. They may have gotten that sneaky kill on Ghost earlier. Miro limping away, and they try and gift another Sunstrike over to Sumail. This one will not find its mark.
This is going to be a fast game because everybody wants some early kills to try and either build the tempo or dissuade it. Going for another bear kill would be super valuable if you get it here.
Level it up, but it's still a little bit exposed. Feed over a Lotus to make sure the bear stays alive, and they keep that bounty out of Noob's hands.
That's a huge bear kill. You got to remember, he died to Sunstrike, came back, insta-resummon, so that's a 90-second cooldown on that bear if it goes down right now.
I mean, even if it doesn't die, if he's scared of losing the bear and can't use it to CS properly, that's going to have its toll, right?
Oh, absolutely. You just want to keep the Lone Druid levels down. You want to make sure that the Disruptor has to sit here and babysit him more and more. You give Lone Druid solo XP, the hero absolutely runs away with it.
Katomi's making a break for that power rune, but is going to be shadowed by Omar, so we're going to see a clash here in 5 seconds over these power runes. Both mids moving over to the bottom lane. Trying to threaten it. It is not going to spawn bottom, and that means GPK is going to be in some trouble here, and he is surrounded on both sides. He gets up to the high ground and will manage to get away.
No Sunstrike mana.
Yep, not
all those thrown out earlier.
Not enough mana for it. It'll be quite a few more seconds till it's back up.
at least you take the rune away from GPK. That's a win in itself. Cisse take it up top. It was a regen. Would have been a really nice one for the Shaker, given all the attrition he's taken in the lane. But JH was up there, forced the issue. Now you're looking at those Wisdom Shrines. 7 minutes, fast approaching here. And Noob is starting to power up. I mean, this Beast he's got the best laning phase of everybody when it came down to it. Double bore up, going into the Dom. Miro suffering still at the hands of the Troll.
Yeah, unsurprising that Miro is not able to equalize that CS count. No way he can keep up with this Beastmaster. This matchup is just way too difficult. He can handle the Phoenix, but he can't handle the Troll on top of that.
Are scanning.
I like Nigma Galaxy's draft this game.
Man.
I think they have a lot of potential to shut this bear down.
Good try. They threw out the scan to try and track that kill, but it would have been quite the miracle to land that one.
I mean, that would have been a beauty. Takes a few warm-up ones, you know?
That's true.
Sumeli's not been on the main stage for a little bit. You gotta give him a little time here.
Pushed out of position. Kataomi still has Vents to be able to block himself. And Pure, ooh, little miss micro there. Resummons his bear, though. Not going to be punished.
Does create an opportunity, though. Like, every time you resummon this bear in the early laning phase, as we see those shrines split, if you're Nigma Galaxy, you're thinking, can we gank this guy? Can we kill him? Take him or the bear off the map for a long time and get the tower pressure with the Beastmaster. This is the biggest pressure point on the map right now. BB team need to think about support rotating through the gate, and in fact, Nigma Galaxy, they're bringing both through that gate. They're bringing GH and Ghost to the party.
Oh, this is going to hurt real bad. If Pure dies here, loses another bear. It's on cooldown for 95 seconds. He cannot afford to go down here. He does have a 6. He pops a true form. Still going to be a lot of damage. They still might be able to overwhelm him. Get some help from GPK, but he's still slain. GPK takes out Noob while the trade out is there on Pure. Now trying to run down Omar as well. GPK will collect the extra kill on top of that. It's a 1-for-2 exchange. The bear is going to be on cooldown for a bit. Avery, is that worth a 1-for-2?
That feels a little underwhelming for what you wanted out of that game. Particularly, you're bringing 4 heroes down there with the Beast timings. If he doesn't have 6 on Lone Druid, that is an easy gank into teamfight into tower for Nigma Galaxy. That timing was perfect for Pure. Like you said, he's not going to have a bear, but look at the gold injection for this Earthshaker. GPK got massive. So much off that. Save got a lot off of that coming into the fight with the amp damage rune from top, and he's still got stacks to go back there.
I was going to say, he's going to be huge if Nigma cannot contest this stack clear, which we've seen all tournament long. Like, how do you stop an Earthshaker from clearing out an Ancient stack? You get too close, then you might just die in the Echo Slam.
You have to just kill him before he goes and does the stack. Nigma do not have good stack contests this game either. Sumail, you're very far versus a Glimpse. Not enough heroes in the vicinity, though. Nigma Galaxy bringing the support. I mean, the Helms are going to start to add pressure to this map. You have Forge Spirits, you have the Invoker Helm, you have the Beast Boars, you have the Beast Helm. You have a Troll who can push a tower on his own. BB team are really going to be split trying to defend all of these tier 1s in the early game.
Yeah, this is a cool idea. Pressuring the mid lane because the Beastmaster puts enough pressure on bottom. Lone Druid feels like he can't be there, so support has to be there. That's going to be saved, so they outnumber the mid lane. And it also makes sure the Earthshaker can't clear that stack, right? You go and clear that stack, your mid tower's dead. That's your trade-off.
This is where the big pressure in the early game can come from. Don't group up, just pressure all 3 lanes at once, force this BB squad to split up. Their lineup does not have a lot of mobility in this early game. They don't have a lot of heroes that can stand on the lane against the Roar into the Sunstrike. We're already seeing it. Everybody got kicked out of bottom here. Noob is going to take this tier 1 for free. And that is going to open up the Beast rotation into mid. That's your normal trajectory here. These are scary early game moves for BB team to respond to. And like you said, if you use Echo on the stack here, you're not going to have it for a tower defense.
Frankly, I think they had to do it. Because if the Beastmaster comes into mid, they take that mid tower, your jungle is completely open for the taking, potentially. Kataomi, he's going to be in some trouble here. There goes that Echo Slam. Oh, look at that!
The Slugger hits.
All the hits from the Ancients go flying in. A Sunstrike barely off the mark. Misses out on the Wind Ranger. Not that he would have died. Kataomi hoping to pull another core out of position here as it glimpses up in 1 second, but too much pressure from these Halmadoms plus Forge Spirits.
Noob did not make that rotation mid. He kept pushing in bottom. Maybe the right call. That Shaker Echo was devastating there. He is so rich out of this early game. He's going to have to pull the next 10 minutes together for BB team as the Lone Druid tries to catch up.
And here comes that Blink Dagger rotation. They may not have the Echo Slam, but they can just bring Ghost down to half without much trouble and pull him back into the Static Storm for no chance at an ultimate.
perfect usage of the first ult here from the Disruptor. I mean, this is going to be the best target for so much of this game until he has BKB online. You lock this Troll and Static Storm, easy pickings.
Now you use the Echo Slam, you show GPK top, 100% you're losing this mid tower. So Enigma Galaxy are still going to get something for it, and we can see it is reflected in the network chart. The pressure they're putting on these lanes, despite the stacks and everything that's going on, they still have a bit of an advantage.
This game is so even. They are within 2 XP of each other. Coming into this 12-minute mark, these Wisdom Shrines are going to mean a lot. I mean, I don't think I've seen a closer experience gain in the early game. Just brawling it out. Pure trying to lend a little help to control this mid lane against some of the summons. Not the most efficient use of his time, but he's scared to go and show against this Beastmaster. You get roared from the tree line into Sunstrike, you're just dead. His reactions with the ulti this game are going to have to be on point as we go later and later.
I think one thing I'm concerned about for Enigma is you go this Helmet Dom, and you have the Beastmaster. You have really good ways to pressure towers. You want to get these early towers, but we've seen the way that these heroes, particularly Earthshaker, he gets his shard, and it feels impossible to push into him just because every single time he just from a distance, Fissure, pops Enchant Totem, the Aftershock plus the Fissure damage just takes out the whole way.
You also have to be scared about grouping into a fight with all these summons against Echo. There's a lot of destruction that can happen here. I mean, this is the biggest target priority for Enigma Galaxy in this game. You're worried about the Lone Druid scale, but you shut him down here. It's the Shaker that's the real problem. Miro freeing up this top tower is going to give a lot of space to Pure if he can eventually rotate up there. But here's the smoke coming through. Again, start to make space. Look for big core target takedowns. You're looking for the Beastmaster. You're looking for the Invoker. You want to relieve the pressure in your jungle right now.
Oh, this is going to be awkward, though. Enigma Galaxy are wrapping into this area from behind. If they can just get a clean kill on the Beastmaster, that's fine. But Noob, look at how safe he's playing in.
Is really
he's playing
good
behind
right
this tree on the high ground. They know he's here, but it's not going to be a fast kill. Not what they're looking for. They certainly have a glimpse available, but he gets off the roar first. Now they have to pull him back into the Static Storm, and he's certainly dead. But the rest of Enigma Galaxy is on their way. Can they get a good team fight out of this? Tornado's going to go down. Noob's not gone yet. They built the Supernova. The Bear, it just cannot seem to find the kill, and they get a kill out of it without losing Noob.
A sick dead shot from Omar. Push that Shaker away. Buys more time. Enigma Galaxy bailing their offlaner out. They are losing some damage on the mid tower, but the positioning from Noob was on point there. No easy Shaker blink. GPK's move gets shut down. That's what you're looking for. Little Helm cleanup. I mean, this was what I was talking about, the interactions. This Lone Druid pick, you are into some counters here, particularly that Phoenix. The attack speed slow is brutal to fight into. The Sunray on the high HP targets, also brutal.
Yeah, miss percentage is really bad for this Bear, right? Also the miss and the attack speed slow. I saw a couple times Pure just didn't get a hit in.
You're a bit concerned in terms of he likes to join these early fights. He likes to make his way into that 15-25 minute period and have impact. I just don't know if he can do it this game in terms of the matchups unless BB can find those supports early on.
And even if they can they end the game fast enough before the scale of Enigma starts getting out of control, right? It feels like they are squeezed on both sides. They have to hit this mid-game timing superbly.
I have some faith in Pure's super late game Lone Druid.
Okay.
This hero is terrifying late game. We've seen what Ghost can do with it.
Tornado catch and push him into the meteor. 6-5, and the pressure does continue with a pick off on a support. A little bit of damage on the tier 2. BB team trying really hard to keep control of these towers.
I'm surprised Pure has stayed on this part of the map for this long, because this is where Enigma are just putting all their forces. They're taking over this jungle. He's basically on the front line, but he can't ever get this bottom wave out. There's a lot of space up top. There's Ancients to clear. It's almost as if he wants to take the fights right now, but can't find a way to do it. Still a dead even game in terms of that experience. So he's at least finding the levels, but Ghost is out farming him right now. This Troll has just been going ham with this Battle Fury. He's 2 levels ahead. He's already level 12. If he gets defensive items up in this game, you put Alacrity on him, he's going to be an absolute beast in the fight.
Trying to slow down Miro's push. See if Omar can get the deny here. Combined with GH, they do get it. Dead shot back, double hits from the supports, and a denied tower.
Nice little gold injection. I mean, Miro's done his job though, right? He had the top lane, he got through it, got the kill on Ghost, took the 2 tier 1s. He's opened up the map for Pure.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's even close to the Nigma cores, I mean, that says a lot about what he's managed to pull together after that rough laning phase.
But I will say, Nigma Galaxy defended against the early Shaker power pretty well here. We have not seen GPK find a substantial opening after he cleared that stack, got the big kill, got the Blink Dagger up. You got the 1 kill top, but that was it. Yep, the smoke failed bottom. He's kind of just been farming up. He's not getting what he wants out of this period when he's super strong right now.
In a way, it feels like the pressure on all these towers makes it even harder, right? All these lanes are shoved in. How's your Shaker ever going to be out on the map finding this troll? Because he could be anywhere at this point.
He's also just not seen heroes do it. Couple of the Overlord, plus Invoker Dom, plus Forge Spirits, plus Boars. Dead Shot, Fire Spirits. There's a lot of ghost shove in this game. Kind of hard for GPK to find targets to jump and initiate on. Hard to find glimpse targets right now. And the mid lane has been a big issue. BB team have had struggles pushing this mid lane out.
Small opportunity, but not enough backup there. Spots the Lone Druid. Pure is able to back away safely.
If Nigma Galaxy gets to some BKBs, Mantle on the Troll, 1 or 2 defensive items, they are going to force Roshan in this game. And it's going to go down incredibly fast, and BB is going to be forced into a tough situation of fighting into that Supernova, fighting into the calling around a choke point. It's an incredible Roshan team, incredible Tormentor team. This is why you wanted to outpace them here. Early Diffusal on the Abaddon, and not a conventional item. He's looking to ramp his own damage and control in the fight.
But now he's in trouble. Nice use of the Hurricane. That extra bit of distance in the Echo Slam. It found Sumail's Invoker. In trouble. Half HP, a power shot. That's not going to do it. Getting a bit of a helping hand from his supports. Oh, and the backside here. He gets right on top of Sumail with the bear, but he can't hit him right now. He's got to get it. Oh, he just follows him, gives him the vision from the power shot. And save, he don't miss. GH, he may have popped that Supernova, but he's come back in. His second life isn't going to do him a bit of good. BB team, they rout Nigma Galaxy on this one.
GPK finally getting that connection he was looking for on the biggest target of that Invoker before the BKB comes out. And Pure lending a helping hand. Hey, I'll throw the bear in there, give you some vision, maybe some body blocks. You get the kill shot. Easy. I'm cleaning up Ancients the whole time. Extra levels coming in now for BB team. They should have a Vessel pretty soon on save as well. He got a lot out of that fight. Level 10.5. Quietly having himself a game here.
Certainly been BB team's MO. Save. He rocks kind of like the same 3 or 4 heroes when it comes to a tournament, and he has a tendency to be one of those supports that scales up into a real threat going into the mid to late game. And we'll see him do that with the Vessel. Certainly needed, because we saw that initiation on Sumail. It was not a fast kill by any stretch of the imagination. With some of the stat buildup from Invoker, he is tanky, man. 1750 HP.
That said, if I'm BB team, I want to fight right now. Before the Invoker BKB comes out, before extra defensive items on the Troll come out, that's when this Vessel is going to give you the maximum value. They're smoking up, trying to do just that. Would love a big core kill off this smoke committal.
Backing up the Lone Druid as he pushes out top. Katomi and GPK barreling through this jungle area. Anything they pop in should be a glimpse kill. They run into Noob.
He's so
now
tanky.
He is so tanky. He hasn't even popped a pipe yet. He's not going to go down easy. While the Disruptor on the front lines, that's going to be an easier pickup perhaps. Needs a little bit more damage. One more hit is all it should take, but can't quite find it. Meanwhile, Miro locked down, but he still has his ultimate. He's okay for now. They turn back, deal with the Granite Golem, and go back to Ghost, who still has his ultimate. He's okay for now, but as you said, the BKB timing for Nigma Galaxy is so crucial. They don't have to force this. They don't have to try and defend this Tormentor if they just want to wait for this extra 1,500 gold. But no, aggression. Name of the game for Nigma Galaxy. They re-smoke up. And Noob trying to give them the opening, trying to find something.
This could be a tough contest. Your Beastmaster's just so low. Doesn't have pipe for another 15
Omar, he's
seconds.
going to break. Pure's in this jungle area, but he's already popped his true form. He's too tanky to get initiation on. Sumail goes in for the side. They find the Disruptor, and they do manage to bring him down. While Miro, he doesn't have his ultimate this time around. Popped that earlier. They're backed him to the Tormentor. There's nowhere to run to. They're kind of to a corner. They just got to TP away and hope it works out for him. Miro trying to deny himself. He gets the deny.
But what about Pure?
A sick little play, but the carry, it's going to be both him and his little dog too. They both die.
Enigma Galaxy's attack points in that fight were so damn good. You had Sumail and Ghost flanking from the back, cleaning up the weak supports, threatening the Abaddon who didn't have ult. This bear ran into the Phoenix and the Beastmaster. This bear's just dying. He got no damage done in that fight. Quite literally, it says 0 for Pure.
Oh no.
That is brutal. Like, that is brutal. Not the carry player who is used to having 0 damage done. This bear just never gets an attack off it. It's just struggling through the attack speed flows and whatever. I mean, he's obviously doing some damage here, so the game did not like it's not the bug damage, but
I love how aggressive Omar, he sees weakness, he just goes in. Finding that dead shot, catching Pure, because otherwise that would have been, okay, we got a Disruptor, a deny on the Abaddon. It would have been okay, they would have gotten Tormentor, that would have felt good, but catching Pure, wow, that was great.
I think the first half of that was okay for BB. They're wearing through that. That Beastmaster, you run into him, he's so tanky. He had Granite Golem, he had Pipe, 2,500 HP.
Oh, trying to get the glimpse back. GH is too quick for now. Oh, and he gets over until the power shot, until GPK. There's just no way out for old GH.
And they're giving it to the bear. I think they are feeling how much Pure is struggling in this game. He's going to need as much as he can get here.
While Miro, he was left to fight for scraps and is still fighting himself a bit more. He's going to work towards that Manta. Yeah, BB team, this seems pretty clear that their mid-game timing is just not going to hit.
No,
there's just no way they can end the game.
They're going to have to try and scale in this game right now. Which means
especially if Enigma Galaxy is strong enough to just do Roshan, which they won the last fight, and now they have BKBs. Now they're hitting their really strong timing. There's no way you could stop this.
Well, we talked about BB team's tempo, but this Enigma lineup can also very easily go high ground early. That mid-game window with first or second Roshan, again, Alacrity Troll with Beastmaster Ores behind him, Forge Spirits, a lot of summons, as long as you don't give up a massive Echo Slam. These tier 2s and potential tier 3 sieges all in the menu. Especially before Pure gets more items. Like, he's going Ags here, but you're going to need something to help you fight through the debuffs from the Phoenix going on to the Bear. That's his biggest problem right now.
And that's why he picked up the Shard, right? So he's got the Shard where Savage Roar, he now has a basic Dispel, but that'll help some, right? There's still going to be a growing miss percentage chance. There's still going to be maybe another Fire Spirits.
It does feel like this is a game you eventually need BKB on the Bear.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But obviously that's a ways away. It's going to be a strong Aegis period for Enigma Galaxy. Up 6K. Looking to expand that lead. They would love to let Ghost take some tier 2s while they smoke and try and find something else on the map. I like that they're looking for that right now. Their catch is not the greatest, but they can absolutely run heroes down.
GPK spotted by the Fisher. Omar's going to find him, and he gets the dead shot in time. GPK trying to run it out. Noob. Primal Roar not even required to collect the killing spree on GPK.
Amp damage Shaker taken off the map. Super valuable here. It's going to let you push the lanes a lot more aggressively. The summon shove continues to oppress the lanes for BB team. I just don't think I've seen this mid lane across the river for Radiant here.
No, and it probably won't really change.
So
the foreseeable
that's
future.
Your biggest point of information in Dota. And every time you can't get that out, the enemy can make better moves than you can. Sumail looking for the solo pickup here.
Yeah, it just means you have to do stuff like this. Kaitomi kind of has to just run out there, push out a wave, because they're trying to buy time. But Enigma Galaxy, they've got a tight hold on this game. Not letting the lanes push out very far, not letting these Helma Dom creeps do too much, right? How many times has Ghost run into him, just cleaned one of them up?
They have double Solar Crest already up as well. Extra barriers to try and fight through here. I mean, Miro is gearing up to try and carry this game himself.
Yeah, with full out Manta.
I just don't know if that was the role they originally had intended for this hero in this lineup.
What do you think their intention was for this hero?
Basically back up the LD's timings. Yeah. I'm not saying you go full utility, but Diffusal Manta in this game, it's not giving you a huge amount of value because you're just not fighting with it as your other heroes are behind.
All right, now this will make things a little bit more annoying. Enigma Galaxy will have to deal with this bear that has an Aghanim Scepter. So it's going to be running around, it's going to be farming your side of the map, it's going to be cutting out these creep waves as well. You do not, we've seen this before, Avery, you don't want to have to go all the way back behind your tier 2 when you're winning the game to address some sort of split push rat problem.
And it is one of the minor weaknesses of this Nigma lineup is their heroes running across the map to try and catch something feels pretty bad. They rather just group up at this point behind the troll and push. The Invoker is the one catch, but this Bear Ags is already doing work. You're stealing ancient stacks, you're killing couriers, you're cutting waves.
And also a lot of the Invokers catch. I mean, that Dispel might just allow him to wear through it real quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you chase this Bear, if you do end up catching it and bringing it down, he's just going to resummon it. You don't feel good about it unless you're getting more economy out of the map in the meantime.
Oh, but if they catch it, oh my god.
That is the...
What is this position?
That's an interesting place to just park it.
Don't make a noise. Don't breathe. They were right behind you. Pure on the edge of the map. Does not get found by Nigma Galaxy.
I will say this Ghost Walk is also really slow. This isn't like the super fast Wex Ghost Walk where he's speeding around the map with bots or anything like that. So the Invoker's ability to chase this Bear pretty limited. This Bear is going to be able to do it at once here. This is an incredible farming rate. If you can continue to take map farm away from Nigma and cut waves, get a couple more couriers in there. Oh yeah, there's one.
It's a massacre out here.
It's just going ham. And there's the instant troll TP. Ghost is like, this is illegal. Someone has to put a stop to it.
Yeah, I mean, the damage is already done. It's been like a minute and a half, 2 minutes of him splitting the map on you.
You can't chase it.
He's killed 3-4 couriers. He's taken out like 10 different waves.
Just stealing farm in front of you. Gotta go for the purple.
He doesn't have the roar. It's on cooldown. He's actually got the bear.
Yep, there's one. And
one down, another to go.
Send it back out. You made them all go to the part of the map where you weren't. Now you're going to farm the rest of it. This is highway robbery right now. Okay, this was Nigma Galaxy's Aegis period.
Foregoing that they actually managed to find it, what happens if this keeps going on? Aren't you in a way forced to just barrel down high ground? Hope for the best? Katomi really wants to switch some control. Omar gets right in there just at the last half second. Takes away the Wisdom Shrine and claims the kill. Katomi tried his best, but Nigma Galaxy up in experience and up 8,000 net worth. Just the question is, how good are they at being able to close out the game? Here comes Ghost, and nice dead shot from across the way. Stops Miro. Miro will do his best to create as much time, hoping that a Manta will give him a little bit more. Nope, locked down by Ghost for too long.
Map is starting to shrink a little bit. Every pick off Nigma Galaxy get here is a huge amount of time to try and get the lanes out, deal with the bear pressure.
Oh, they found the bear noob set up trap, but he did not find it in reach of his roar.
I mean, he went early bots on this beast, probably just to deal with some of the pressure, still be able to join the team.
Yep.
That said, Nigma are still getting a lot of items on their cores here, particularly Ghost on this troll. It just hasn't been touched in so long, and he can absolutely just man fight the bear.
Yeah, there's
not afraid of this matchup, at least for the foreseeable future.
There's really not this fear of going another 20 minutes, right?
Maybe 40. You know, 60-minute plus game, your Nigma Galaxy, anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lone druid that can get 12 items to your 6.
If there is one team that knows how to deal with Lone Druid, it should be Nigma.
It should be.
They have had or at least some of the greatest Lone Druid players of all time in that squad. AC next for Pure. Be a very nice power spike for him if he can get there.
Another smoke up. Nigma Galaxy, I'm surprised they're smoked where they are.
That's a long way to run.
Yeah, I mean, having that many heroes up to that side of the map, just all the way up there at the top, right? It's like,
it's also
if they don't find this bear, it's gonna feel really bad. But Pure is getting greedy. He wants the tier 2.
You should find it here.
And he doesn't have the roar again.
Is a 5-man smoke worth a bear when he has a resummon?
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, you have to roar it. He can't afford this chase to go on too long. He still gets the
I mean, you'll take it, but it's a little awkward timing-wise, right? If this was when the Roche was spawning, which it could, though it absolutely could line up here. But if you delay that smoke 30 seconds or a minute, and you clear out the map, you can just go straight into Roche if BB Team continue to dodge you.
What is BB Team doing? What is going on here? They're going for... They're going to try and sneak away a Tormentor?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
That's a pretty cool play. I mean, that shows you what Tormentor is worth. If you're willing to invest that kind of time, that many heroes... Oh, no, Cataclysm! Save! He wasn't sure if that TP was going to get him out of there in time, but now he's just got to lead Nigma Galaxy. Oh, that dead shot's so close. He gets through the gate, and he might be okay to make it back home safely.
I mean, you could see BB Team's idea, though. Like, they take this Tormentor, GPK, he's TPing out of there before that thing's even dead.
Yes.
He's like, good luck, team. I've seen this one before. I'm not getting stuck in this corner for a second time. They're in dodge mode right now, but they are recovering this net worth gap.
Yeah, taking away that Tormentor. I mean, it's not just a shard in their pocket, the extra gold. It's denying it from Nigma Galaxy, who clearly, I mean, they have full control of the map. They could have taken it as soon as it spawned. Miro sneaking by them again. Oh, spotted by Omar, but not in time.
So damn close. They did get a second Boots of Travel up on that Invoker, though, so double Boots of Travel for Nigma Galaxy. In theory, this is what you need to keep the lanes in and look for those catch kills around the map. And of course, Roche is up, so...
Yeah, and that is not an objective that BB Team could just sneak away under Nigma Galaxy's nose. This one is certainly going to be Ghosts.
Very difficult to contest, too. You're unlikely to find GH at the start of the fight, and if you don't, he's just a monster around that pit. Especially without any BKBs on your heroes, right? You have a BKB-less lineup. Very hard to man up into the Phoenix spells right now, and Nigma Galaxy know it.
Well, we're going to have one of the ultimate carries of Dota 2 with a Battle Fury, BKB, MKB, SNY, Aegis at 33 minutes, soon to be Satanic, so he's got 2 lives and potentially 3 if he can finish up this Satanic quick enough. Do you get a little bit scared about what this Lone Druid's doing to you? Do you just say, okay, they're not willing to fight us, let's try this high ground. Let's see what happens.
The difficulty with the high ground is you are going to get ratted. And this is a very high damage rat. I don't think they
you know Noob is willing to roar that bear to stop it. And they brought 5 heroes back to kill that bear.
I mean, you see the lines instantly drawn. Okay, get out on the map. Killing this bear does give you a window where if you can make a fast play and engage in a fight or find the bear again,
yes,
it's unlikely Pure will play as risky with it. Or if you force the high ground, then the Lone Druid buyback is irrelevant if he only has the 1 summon. It does create small windows during this Aegis period to try and get something out of it here.
Which means BB Team may feel like that they have to be even more aggressive in their splitting. I can't believe this bear's just running through the middle of the map right now.
He's playing a little reckless with it. They also just got Ags on the Disruptor, and we saw Refresher on the Shaker, so the AoE teamfight control from BB Team is online. You cannot clump into this lineup.
Miro stuck, goes to the TP, butt spotted. Omar's just always there. This Huerta has worked out beautifully for Nigma Galaxy due to all the rat action that's been happening. Miro, again, just trying to create as much time as possible. His team immediately pushing out mid, pushing out top, but his life is forfeit.
Let's see what Nigma do with this. 60 seconds, no Abaddon, no buyback available.
And Bear, another Bear, not up for another 50 seconds. So you don't have that backup still.
You can just go down mid here. Maybe send someone back to defend. Try and gauge where BB are sending the defensive resources versus the offensive ones. But this is a scary high ground into Refresher, Shaker, Ag, Static Storm. There's a shard on this Wind Ranger as well. Look for that Gale Force. It can drag you and you can get fissure blocked.
There's the Echo. First one goes down. Trying to get a quick kill and refresh, and they take out the Troll. That's the Aegis. A second life, and they do not go for the Static Storm play. I thought maybe that second life Kataomi would try and get there. They try and get a glimpse back, and they do manage to get the Static Storm on him. No BKB. Can they burst him down fast enough, though? Half HP, gets out of the Static Storm, and free to use the BKB. Not required, though. The damage simply isn't there from the BB team. In fact, the Bear is the one to die here as it's dead shot back into Ghost.
That Crimson Guard off to block so much of the Bear damage.
Shackle shot goes out. Oh, and the push in on Ghost. That's a dangerous position, but he got off the BKB and he got off the ultimate. That second Bear is gone. He's going to be pulled into the base. Zane trying to be protected by the Infonic Shield, but he cannot get away. Miro, he'll take some of the damage for now. A quick buyback out from the Wind Ranger as they need every bit they can to deal with the carry of Ghost. But Ben Cataclysm comes in and wipes out Miro. Another man down. 4 left. Call it 3 with no Bear on the lone Druid. Nigma Galaxy have full control of this base for now.
How far will they push it? Satanic is flying in for Ghost right now. You get this on him, he heals up, put another Alacrity. You keep going here.
Power shot after power shot. Ghost, he'll out heal it. Satanic builds him back up the full. And now what do? No Echo Slam for 25. No Bear for 30.
Don't have the damage right now. Nigma Galaxy know it.
It's got to be a second lane of barracks. Seemingly nothing BB team can do to stop this.
You can block him off, you can pull him in, but you cannot bring this troll down right now. Not with the auras he has behind him. GPK just getting hounded by Forge Spirits. A clean 2 lanes for Nigma Galaxy with that Aegis. Exactly what they wanted in that period. And this is where I go back to the itemization on the Lone Druid. It feels like you need BKB to get in there and do anything, but you need more damage as well. Now this Crimson Guard is a big problem for you.
Not to mention the mid and bottom lanes pushing in with your whole play for BB team has been doing this rat. Rat's going to be a whole lot less effective now. Octarine. Invoker, Samael is scaling up. He's level 20.
They still have so much in the tank. That's the scary part about this. You're going to need to land some big Static Storms or some massive Echo Slams. I mean, you can also argue that push kind of works because they have to commit so much to bring the troll down the first time.
Yeah.
That was the entirety of GPK's kit.
In which case, Enigma Galaxy, they should probably just chill out until there's another Roshan available.
Yeah, you can all in the troll this game if it's just a straight up push and they have everything. Like, and you're not going to do that without 2 lives or some hard save. Doesn't exist right now.
In 3 minutes time, it means BB team will be forced to contest, right? Like, it feels like they cannot afford to give up another Aegis.
That is a must contest, Roshan. You cannot give up the 3rd one this game. You just try and get as much on the Bear as you can. He does have MKB done. That helps a lot.
It does. Still no BKB, though, so he can still be locked down. Quick Savage Roar pushes Ghost away from his mark, but level 25 right around the corner for him.
I mean, you do have to be careful of a situation where they go in, start studying a target while the Bear is in range to go and hit that target at the same time. Because this Bear will do a lot of burst damage.
Sure. I think that's why Enigma Galaxy have been so careful every single time they've brought multiple heroes when it comes to ganking that lone Druid Bear. Because so much of BB team is off map, they're saying, you know, maybe they're behind the Bear. Maybe this is a play.
There will be saves that come into this game for Enigma Galaxy, though. That is something to think about, particularly in Ags on GH down the road. He went an early Aether Lens on this Phoenix, not an item you usually get.
Sure.
But it helps him with the cast range to put debuffs on the Bear, and if you eventually get to Ags, significant cast range on that save. You can pull people potentially out of Static Storm this game. So there's still some really solid scaling mechanics for Enigma Galaxy here. And of course, everything rides on this next Roshan. You get next Rosh here, you can put 2 lives on your troll, you're threatening the Megas, you're threatening that final push in the game. This Bear just farms so fast. I mean, can you imagine if Pure did not have as slow a start as he did in this game?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's where credit is due to Omar and Noob, the fact that they won that laning phase so hard.
Just looking at Refresher.
I mean, is more bears better than one strong bear?
It is the age-old question. I mean, this is where you trust your instinct as a lone Druid player. Samael gets caught.
And they caught Samael. Samael thought he was fishing for a bear kill. Instead, he is the fish. Victim of the Bear and company.
That's a nice bait. I mean, that's like mentality, right? This bear has been hunted all game. If you're Enigma Galaxy, you're used to just being able to commit on it for free. There's no one around. Guess what? 4-man smoke going straight into you. Not a move Sumail was expecting. Lucky for Enigma Galaxy, this Roche is not up yet. So you have a window to get this Invoker back on the battlefield before that objective is available.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
BB team find yet another push, looking for another pickoff. I mean, they get another one that maybe they could actually get Roshan for themselves. It's going to be a medium respawn time.
Also keep in mind that Troll 25, available for Ghost, Battle Trance, Strong Dispel, super valuable in this game if you're trying to go in on him with stuns first.
Yes, because
not going to help you in the Static Storm, but can help you in a stun situation around the pit.
Right, which is where the Disruptor really needs Blink Dagger, because he can't just rely on the Earthshaker jumping in and chain stunning as he slowly walks in with his Arcane Boots to drop a static. He's got to be there instant.
I mean, he's looking for it, but Kataomi is pivotal for BB's game plan. He needs to land a good Static Storm on one of these core targets between likely the Invoker and the Troll. The Troll, if you can grab him, because Ghost, he just bought out for Refresher. He is an absolute beast.
And he is kind of approaching peak.
Yeah, this is him. I mean, this is Cap, basically. You get buyback. He doesn't have buyback right now, but BB team don't necessarily know that.
Yeah.
And if he gets BKB off before Static Storm hits, he's guaranteed 2 of them. He's guaranteed 2 ults. He's guaranteed 2 Satanics.
Well, is he guaranteed?
Well, yeah,
he doesn't have much mana to work with here. It's pretty much all of his ult. If he battle trances, refreshes battle trances, that really doesn't leave him much for any axes.
He is not the smartest hero we've ever seen.
No.
He'll figure it out.
Grand total 52 intelligence. Runs into Miro. GPK. Little Fisher goes out. And you know, Ghost he's got his finger just hovered on either the BKB button or that battle trance. The glimpse, it made him skittish. He thought he was being pulled back into a Static Storm.
You can't blame him for that. I mean, if the Static Storm gets dropped there and you don't BKB, it can be the team fight over.
Yeah, this is going to be a game and position that you want to exercise some restraint, some caution, some discipline. You can't really afford any risks if you're Ghost right now. And so it all comes down to this Roche. And it's a position that Enigma Galaxy, they have the advantage. Cataclysm scouting things out. They have the advantage, right? They have the outpost advantage. They have the net worth advantage. So they can play off of buybacks. But Roshan will switch over in a minute's time. So the clock...
It's not favorable for them right now.
Yeah, it's kind of against them.
And also, this bear is farming BKB. He's 1,000 away. Pure's going to buy out for it.
They give Refresher and BKB to Pure. That starts becoming a different ball game. The initiation coming up the side, though.
Oh, this is such a bold move.
It doesn't break.
I mean, the thing is, there's A on this. At least one on this Phoenix. There's Troll with that hard dispel. You cannot jump the Shaker first. There's just no way it's going to work out for you.
So they back away.
Especially without the Disruptor Blink.
BB team, there is still this mid lane that's pushing in. Top is also pushing in because the Helm of the Overlord.
A little bit.
Yeah. So they've got to start showing some pieces around the map.
But again, farm for the bear right now. Enigma Galaxy just in a standoff.
Yeah, they're going to set up for top Roshan. So they won't have the outpost to play with, but they will have first movers advantage. They can maybe get some early wards down. They'll clear out the area of any wards thanks to the gem on Omar.
They would love to kill this bear up here.
Little high ground ward. Here comes the bear. Attempted kill. It's got the Outworld Staff. Savage Roar, 3 seconds. And Ghost is keeping his distance here. He's going to make sure that Savage Roar does not stop him from claiming this pickup.
So there's the first resummon. Pure does buy out here. No reason to keep that buyback when you're playing with the main hero back. And that is BKB for the bear. This is the biggest power spike for him in this game. You run this thing in, you BKB, it is going to do some serious damage.
I think BB team is happy with the way the standoff is going currently. Enigma Galaxy are the ones who do need to kind of force things.
Might not be too happy about this.
Roshan roars. The bear will TP in. And it'll start checking out the pit. Tentacles goes down. Maybe they'll just jump in. All in after Ghost. The Cataclysms are coming in, but Ghost is already gone. A quick buyback going to be used. It maybe cost them a bear. Yep, there goes the bear. It's a dead shot. Through the bear, hits 2 heroes. Nice shot from Omar, but it doesn't undo the damage that was done. Ghost, he lost his buyback, and now he desperately needs that Aegis.
Nigma are all in on this Roshan. Concerning fight for GPK though. Again, this is not an easy fight for the Shaker going into the calling.
They can't do anything about it, right? He's got BKB, he's got strong battle trance. They jump over the Echo Slam. They force the BKB, and the Aegis will be dropped. Ghost picks it up immediately. BB team, no, they just cannot contest here. They can play for the high ground, but they say, Enigma Galaxy, they use that buyback on the Troll. It's not even guaranteed they're going to do anything with this Aegis in the first place.
Not confident to go without Static Storm here. That's the biggest factor. But that means you're going to have to take this Troll down at least once without it. I mean, this is Nigma's best chance to force that last lane. Do you have the confidence to go in without the Troll buyback?
Well, I'll tell you right now, Enigma Galaxy fans, I know they don't have the confidence in it. Little Outworld staff got out the BKB. He really wants to try and hold that refresher still. Oh, he actually already used the refresher. Just noticed that. So
that was his last bear for 40.
Yeah.
He loses it there. BKB forced. And there's the Ags for the Phoenix.
Big pickup.
That's a big one here, especially when you have that Aether Lens.
I mean, with level 20, or I guess level 3 ultimate, 10 hits. What are the chances that BB team can deal with the egg?
0.
0?
There is almost no world in which this egg goes down in the middle of the fight. Just don't have the heroes to BKB and hit it through a lot of the disable.
Yeah.
He's also got Refresher Shard, so he's got 2 of those eggs that can come in and save. And he's got Aeon Disc on that Phoenix, so it's really difficult to jump GH first.
Sure.
This could be an incredibly pivotal item purchase. If you could bail the Troll out.
Clearing through the trees, Noob doesn't have a stun for it. The Hawk not acting fast enough.
I mean, I'm sure this is a phrase that a lot of Enigma Galaxy fans hate to hear, but I think you're supposed to go high ground here.
Just that phrase puts a little sickening feeling in my gut, Avery. Because a 3,000 net worth lead is all they are left with right now, and another pickoff has completely killed their net worth lead. A force staff back up to the high ground, and this is now approaching an even ball game.
Can't give up freebies like that. And you're right, the gold swing in the last 5 or so minutes here has been drastic. Not only that, but the buybacks available for BB team, they basically have them all. You go in a high ground situation, you're going against 10 lives, not 5. Potentially less because the bear has its own buyback situation, but...
And now, if you're Noob's Beastmaster, you start feeling really bad. I mean, your build was correct. You got this wonderful pipe that gave you so much of the early team fight, but if this game starts going another 10, 20 minutes... this Abaddon may actually start doing more than you in fights.
This is not the hard scaling Beastmaster build. You don't have the Refresher right now.
Yeah.
Don't have that Ags. Can still absolutely find his mark, but I mean, you are just looking at this bear vacuum up the map. The net worth Pure is soaking in right now is insane. And this is where I go back to that Invoker versus the Lone Druid in the last picks in those drafts. 2 players on some ultimate late game heroes that they are specialists on. You have to be able to match it here.
Samael trying to stop this bear where it can. Pure almost has enough for Swift Blink for the bear, but the Enigma Galaxy, they're going to go and sneak a little high ground push here with Banner, and a minute and a half left on this Aegis. Now's the time. He said,
do or die.
Now's the time to go for that high ground. Enigma Galaxy, if they want it, they've got to do it the hard way. Pushed into BB Team space, the tier 3 gone. The Fisher leads things off, Nullifier placed onto him. Activates the Satanic. Just trying to stall, hoping that they can get through this minute, that the Aegis protects Ghost and be able to all-in him. A bear almost going down. Savage Roar pushes him away just in time before it falls. But that leaves Ghost. He just runs back up to the high ground. Here comes Cataclysm. Ooh, not that much damage. Oh, and he actually changed this. He's gone. And on the second life, here comes the Static Storm. Where's going to be the save? It's all up to GH now, and he's got the Supernova save. He bails out his carry Ghost, and BB Team, now they're the ones on the run, as a fresh life Ghost will approach the stage with no Static Storm to stop him. Another Echo Slam, almost the first damage, but he got him the Battle Trance. GPK, his Aeon Disc only protects him for so long. A refresh from Ghost. He's dealt with one. A Babak's going to be used. Can he get off another Battle Trance? He's got one more to go. Another Supernova save, and no way to stop the egg. Megas inbound now, as on another life, they'll finish off the building. BB Team will have to play against Megas in game 1.
And if you get out without being glimpsed, that is an absolute win here. You got GPK's buyback, you got Megas, 2 perfect saves from GH. They were not ready for that egg cast range. I was surprised he got it. He was on the other side of that Static Storm. The item investment from GH, you saw this from 50 minutes ago.
Yeah, hover over that range. It's massive, man.
Yeah, it's
Blood Right, Aether Lens. As you said, if there's no fear of the egg going down.
No, there's zero fear in this game. Absolutely no way an egg dies. Just got to make sure you bail your troll out at the right points. And
now what do? You got to get a refresher on your disruptor.
Maybe.
So you Static Storm, he eggs, and then you Static Storm the egg as they're about to revive.
Refresh disruptor, or somebody finds that Phoenix and checks him in the fight, which we just haven't seen at all.
Yeah, I mean, BB Team have been playing defense so much, the very idea of them wrapping around on Enigma Galaxy seems an entirely foreign concept.
That said, Megas is not the game here.
Oh,
right?
no. Not
it's a lot harder to take that throne down than it is to get Megas sometimes.
Which means we're probably going to be playing for yet another Roshan.
60-minute items as well.
Yeah.
If you're Enigma, you would love to item starve BB Team. Like, get that Roche, get 60-minute items, get them up before they do, and try and all in. Could be an interesting window.
That damage from the Earthshaker, though, has been pretty crazy.
Oh, it's insane, yeah.
He's got the Whisper of the Dread, plus an 8% Spell Amp from Timeless. So his Spell Amp is pretty high. That burst damage was more than I was expecting when he jumps on the troll. He's got 3,500 HP, but he just ripped through him pretty casually.
I mean, you've also got Shiva's amping up even more.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, you're going to get exploded.
You add in like a power shot on top of that, which there's another Whisper of the Dread on save with some percentage based off the kill shot. Damage does come quick and fast when it does, but BB Team, they've been running out of spells as they've had to endure Enigma Galaxy's advantage, and we said the net worth was going even. Well, now it's back up to 20k, Megas, and perhaps a bear pickoff.
Big bear kill if you can find it, yep. Might be at the point you roar that every single time, because that's a 30-second roar.
Yeah, might as well.
This is the biggest threat in the game. You take it down when you can. Don't overthink it.
So is Abaddon ever going to be enough of a threat? He's got Nullifier, he's got Bloodthorn.
He is building up the damage.
I think, yeah, I like this. I think he needs Blink Dagger. I think he's the one who has to address GH.
I think you get this Abaddon on the back line. Not a target Enigma wants to prioritize. Just let him cause some chaos, right? Yeah. Threaten the Phoenix, maybe. Throw this Nullifier Bloodthorn into one of the supports or the Invoker there. Get an early BKB out.
Yeah, I mean, he has the Silence, he has the Nullifier to get through Aeon Disc. Like, theoretically, he can address the Phoenix. Now, whether you can put that to paper, particularly since BB Team is going to be stuck inside their base for the foreseeable future. It is Megas pushing into you. You don't have any super creeps on your own side. And you've got a Cataclysm going off every, like, 35 seconds or something. So
it's all easier said than done here.
Yeah. Outside of this rogue bear that is roaming the map, Enigma Galaxy can kind of play and go wherever they want.
There's one other scenario that I want to mention.
Okay.
I don't want to mention it.
No, this
but
is
I have
gonna
to
be
mention it.
a true Hail Mary.
You do not want to get caught in a fight and get ratted by the bear onto your throne.
Yeah, but there's some time for that, right? You've got tier 3s, you've got tier 4s, you've got Glyph.
It is a scenario that we've seen. This thing will chunk buildings very quickly.
Don't do this to me, Avery. Don't whisper that into reality.
I'm not. I just, it's my job. Don't blame me. No matter what happens in this game, I'm just doing my job. Fourth Rochelle spawn. It's a big one. Refresher Shard Cheese. Potential to end the game here. Gotta look at the buyback situation as well. Every buyback available for Enigma Galaxy. BB team still missing that GPK buyback for 2 minutes. And they technically are missing the Lone Druids off of a gold, but of course, this buyback is likely not consequential.
Aghanim Scepter, Shard, and whatever you want off of Roshan's keepsakes. Ghost is very, very stacked.
This bear could blink in. Okay, he blinks it out.
Yeah, he goes for the wave. He goes for the wave. And Noob goes for the bear. Another roar.
See if he can get this one.
They keep on finding the bear when Savage Roar is on cooldown, which is perfect. Another 300 gold for the team. They take the Aegis for Ghost and all the other goodies. A cheese for the Muerta, another refresher for GH. So look for, even if you could get a refresher on this Disruptor, you can't counter 2 ways.
No way. Such a valuable Roshan for Enigma Galaxy here. And this is a throne killer right now. Gonna have to come up with a miraculous defense. Abuse the hell out of buybacks. Try and drag Enigma deep into your base. Maybe Gale Force, maybe some Fissure Blocks.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
4 minutes on Aegis. Plenty of time here. Enigma Galaxy, you don't see the opening. You don't have to force it here. World Staff, not dodging that. No GH Pie, try and blow him up, they got it. Woo! Faster than he can battle trans, but here comes Noob. Aurora goes out, Cataclysm, that's gonna be denied by the Eontis. Ghost on his second life. Gotta be quicker on the trigger. If he wants to stop that Echo Slam damage, he's gotta get off that battle trance.
Solid move.
Jump onto Noob, got the BKB out of him. That's gonna be Bloodthorn Nullifier used and deal with the banner.
This is going great for BB team. They're getting so much out of Enigma right now. They're paying nothing for it.
It is. Kind of feels like Enigma Galaxy, no point to even try this anymore, considering how bad it kind of started.
You also just can't go in and roar a backline target like that. I mean, it's tempting in this game in terms of target prioritization, but there's Aeon Discs, there's Force Staves. Sure, no one's locking onto this target when you go in like that if you're new.
Nice out World Staff. Certainly helps against the Invoker. Dealing with some of the Meteor. Another Cataclysm attempted to find that Lone Druid bear kill, but no.
60 minutes is in almost 30 seconds here.
Yeah, it is inevitable. We're going to see some tier 5 items guaranteed. Our BB team going to get that many, though.
The bear, yeah.
I mean, the bear can get what he can, but you've got to collect so many of those shards.
It's going to be a lot slower, for sure.
Yeah, you're going to be left with this drought where Enigma Galaxy have their tier 5s and you don't.
So I'm saying, man, if you can get some Helms of Undying or books up, just throw these books in, let GPK kill himself on the Necro units. Might have a little window here to make that push a little more enticing. You could wait for next Roshan as well. Say, hey, we messed up that last push. We'll be a bit more disciplined about it next time.
I mean, not disciplined enough. What could they have done better outside of Ghost getting off battle trance? They don't really have another way to protect him. It's just pure reaction time.
It's tough. You just have to take advantage of the fact BB are jumping into him and find a big target at the same time. Or kill the bear when it commits. Whittle through some of these bear lives. which he has all of them up, by the way. So 3 bears available on this map.
Well, I do think it's possible GH just holds on to his blood right. I'm not sure if there's anything better than that for him. So there's one tier 5 you probably don't have to worry about. Bears out on the map, trying to find any sort of neutrals, but Enigma Galaxy have already cleared them all. He goes deeper and deeper, but this one's taken 2.
You know, the funny thing is, Pure is the lowest level, basically, in this game, because he's just sat his hero in the fountain.
Oh, yeah. Which, I mean, is 25 matter that much to a lone druid? Probably not.
No, not the way he's playing it, not at all. Could be bad for someone's fantasy, though.
That's true.
They're getting close to that Disruptor.
All right, Helm of Undying.
Oh, yeah, those are big.
Beastmaster, Helm of Undying, Muerta, Fallen Sky, Sumail. So he's got an interesting meteor combo from himself. Minotaur Horn for Ghost.
Potential bear kill. 1 of 3.
Tried to save it with the Aphotic Shield, but it has its own Helm of Undying. Actually jumped for it. But the push away at the same time made things kind of weird. Not that swift execution they're looking for, and Aeon is going to be popped on the Muerta. That's double Echo Slam.
Yeah, that was... Maybe he thought he'd get a lot more damage off the Slugger, but it felt very casual. He does have the Echo Slam cooldown, but popping Refresher there feels pretty bad. This Helm of Undying on the bear is going to be insane if it's in the middle of the fight. That was a huge find from Pure. And he gets 2 of them, so...
Yeah, pretty disgusting.
That is
an extra 100
something.
attack speed, 80 magic damage from the Audacious as well.
All right, bear number 2.
It's beginning to stack up. Oh, trying to get it out of there. They do manage to bail it out. But still, the forces are beginning to push in.
Ghost going in here.
Invaders on all sides. Ghost will push in without an Aegis. They're not going to wait for another Roshan.
They're going to jump in with Storm, though. Katayomi smoke.
They're certainly going to try. Shackle goes out first. Echo Slam, but he's going to be saved. They do have the bird damage. Here comes the Roar. Cataclysm, double Cataclysm, big damage. Oh, the Earthshaker, a little bit more. He gets up the Aphotic Shield, but it is not enough to save him. We're going to have to burn through some buybacks now as the Pure Bear tries to hold on to these tier 4s, but Ghost locked on with Alacrity on him. He will make short work of these tier 4s. They cannot concede. Many more of these buildings are going to have to fight. Miro tries, draws a little attention to himself. A beautiful tornado gets the Earthshaker a second time. Oh, Fallen Sky onto Miro. He jumps in and goes. He sees the opportunity. He goes to the buildings. They pop the Glyph. He's going to back out for now.
You have
Providence BKB. They got the Alacrity. He can commit. He goes after save, waiting his time, waiting for the Glyph. Noob is just trying to create some space so they can all in on the throne. They see their opportunity, and Echo Slam jumps in, and Fisher,
Another
a Supernova save from Orba. What a save from GH, and Ghost will finish this game. 64 minutes, and it's Enigma Galaxy to take game 1.
What a performance here, especially in that last fight from Sumail. He absolutely diced them up with the double kata, double meteor combination. Just burnt them to a crisp. As Enigma Galaxy, they controlled that game from, it felt like the mid-game to the end there, finally able to close it out. Bit of a nail-biter, but I mean, as far as Enigma Galaxy late games go, that was pretty convincing.
It was. I mean, they got the lead early. Enigma Galaxy have done that time and time again, but it seems like they have significantly improved on closing out the game, something that has plagued this team all year round, and it's come a massive improvement just in time for TI.
Non-stop pressure. Enigma Galaxy making sure that BB team was sweating in their base for the majority of that game. There's a lot to talk about with this one, Effie. We're going to dive right into it. And it did feel like Enigma Galaxy knew exactly what was coming from the get-go.
I mean, from the laning stage, they did such a great job in shutting down Lone Druid and slowing down his game progression. Like Noob and Ahmed on that lane, they were kind of kicking his ass, right? They had like 18 denies on that beat in Beastmaster minute 4. They were like dead shotting him. They were making it so that the Bear was always chipped down and they couldn't play. And then when they brought the pressure to the Lone Druid, it made it so that that early Ags timing he wanted to hit was slowed down by 4 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like they had a lot of early stuff like going their way where they did well in lanes. At minute 10, they're pressuring like 3 separate lanes. And you can see here already, there's like, it's a 4K lead at minute 18. This is where BB Team, I think they got to strike back a little bit, if I don't remember, like if I remember correctly, like Sumail ends up dying, some stuff. Like, and they do get to strike it, but at this point already, Nigma are up 5K gold. And at this point, I already thought that BB Team, there's some weird stuff going on. So Miero, he did like a pivot where he went Diffusal. Maybe because Pure had a much worse game. Like usually your LD does better, so you can go Radiance. But yeah, all in all, I feel like Nigma Galaxy really had BB Team's number team.
Yeah, I mean, the lanes just fell apart so heavily for BB that Nigma was very, very confident, right? The fact that you have Beastmaster able to freely do what he wants, Ghost with the Battle Fury kind of uncontested, and then Invoker being able to kind of pick and choose what fights he wants, you couldn't ask for a better start to the game. And Nigma was able to kind of utilize that throughout. Sure, there were some moments where they had like an unlucky deny on a Baron and they couldn't find a kill here and there, but like, and the main thing is they kept moving forward. They never really stopped. Even when they died, going for the Roshan pit with the shot drags, go for a buyback, instantly take the Aegis, don't give BB any hope of coming back into the game. And I feel critically, in the group stage, once they made one mistake, it compounded to 2 or 3 more. Here, they made one mistake, instantly fixed it, and made sure they secured the game.
They overall played quite well. Like there were also a lot of clutch plays, like you see like 1, 2, 3, 4, like GHX saves. It's kind of crazy. I still feel like it's gotta be kind of crazy to be a Nigma fan. I was pretty much rooting for them this game, and it looked like it was going to be over at minute 20. I mean, and then there's play after play. You're just like, what is happening? Are you going to win? Are you losing? Are they throwing it again? But ultimately, they make it happen.
GH carried the late game. We're talking about the early game pressure of Noob and Sumail and whatnot, but it's about the cast range of the Agnims on the Phoenix saving his cause. When Ghost went up to the high ground, if you don't have that cast range and he's getting stuck in an Ag Static Storm, he is dying. If you don't save Noob on 100 HP, he's also going down. So the fact that GH identified what he had to do in the late game, if he doesn't step up, that's when Nigma could have easily thrown this game.
Yeah, but I also want to shout out Ahmed on the Muerta because that was an exceptional performance from him. One of his standouts this tournament. Like, when you talk about the first 20 minutes, that's what Nigma really did very well to slow down Lone Druid's timing, because as we saw later, it became whack a bear, chase the bear. But because of Ahmed on the Muerta, there were so many clutch the callings that he was dropping, stopping some Echo Slams, stopping from some spell casting from going on. There were so many dead shots to cancel TPs, dead shots to secure kills. Like, this is one of the best performances I've seen come out of him.
I mean, he was in 94. He was in every kill apart from maybe 1 or 2 at the maximum. Like, he definitely played very well. I also like how they usually itemize. It's always like some 1 Solar Crest or double Solar Crest buff up goals like we've usually seen in the other games. And I mean, I will say, I do think BB Team, they gave Nigma what they wanted. They got a good troll game. He got his buffs. He got people around him, and then they itemized for it and they executed.
Yeah, they did execute very well, and I think Kazu, they executed especially well maybe in a high ground push they went for. And to be fair, they went for quite a few high ground pushes. So we're looking at the one in bot lane?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, they always have, like, they know what they want to do, like what Ghost needs to do if they need to save him. So here, you have your Aegis, they have a gold lead. It's only 7,000 gold, and there's your Echo, but already Sunray starting to heal him up, and then sure. So now they have the Ags on the Disruptor. So they need to all in Ghost here if they want to go for a play. So they slow him down, they go for a Glyph, and they're gonna go for, what is it? So a Glimpse, Static Storm, and they just got the MKB on Pure. Like, this is an all-in play. This has to happen for you. Someone passes a Lotus again here to Noob, healing him up during the stun lock. A Force Step out, a Crimson, a Pipe, a Force. Get him out. Now they get to turn. And at this point, you've used everything. You used your Refresher double Echo. You lost your Bear who just bought MKB. This is what gave them like their double racks, and ultimately, I think, the ultimate win of the game.
I would like to offer some criticisms as well for what BB Team did here, because Invoker wasn't even in that fight. Like, they got the first life on Aegis and they had the Ag Static Storm on Troll Warlord. That's something that on paper should have gone to BB Team. And I think the biggest issue this game for BB Team, outside of how well Nigma played in the first 20 minutes, was not buying a BKB on the Bear. Like, he bought BKB as his 5th item slot. It came 46 minutes into the game. Imagine instead of an MKB, there's a BKB there. You get more reliable hits on him. Maybe you get the roots to keep him in the Static Storm for longer, and then you're able to kite your Bear back so you don't feed it twice. I thought after that for sure he'd get a BKB. But he didn't. He went for AC.
I mean, he wanted. This is like some.
I was losing my mind backstage.
He had shock value. You know, he lost the lane so badly that the entire game was this epic comeback. And I think realistically, the fact that he didn't go BKB earlier, like Effie's mentioning, is a problem and why we didn't see the correct comeback. Right? It just felt like every play was falling off, and you need a BKB on Lone Druid, right? The whole hero is built around Bear is annoying and unkillable, but when you have AC, whoop-de-woo, MKB, whoop-de-woo, like you're against Phoenix with Mischance and all this stuff. It's like
you're against the Kings and Volker last pick.
Exactly. Like I think Pure just had a bad lane and then was not able to step up, and that is an issue with BB half the time. Is when Pure is not in form, they can just feel like they're just another team.
To be fair, they were kind of playing not just against Nigma Galaxy, because they were also kind of playing against the majority of the people in the audience here. There's a slight bias coming out from Hamburg. That's okay, we will allow that. And I'm sure that Slacks found some fans in the audience of one team or another.
Hello, Shiver! Thank you, everybody, for coming. You know what, guys? I am in the crowd. Did you guys like that game, by the way? Can we hear it from the crowd? You guys enjoy that one? Yeah, they liked it. All right, fun fact for you guys. I was trying to learn German before I came here so I can interact with the audience a little bit better. And I found two guys who are fluent in German. Mein Name is Slacks. Hello, how are you?
Hallo, mir geht's gut.
Okay.
Jakob.
You lost me. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for coming by, Fred. And this is your friend, right? What's your name?
I'm Hans Wurst. It's like a German clown. Everyone knows the German Hans Wurst.
Okay. Wow, gentlemen, we're going to play a game here. Now, did you guys know that there is a German Dota client that has everything translated, right?
He knows it. He plays it in German.
Oh, you play?
Yeah, I play in German because it's so fucking funny, the translations.
Yes, the translations are a little whack. So we're going to play a little game. Best of 5. I'm going to read out some hero, what are they called?
Facetten.
Yeah, Facetten. We're going to do some hero Facetten. Now I'm going to do my best in German. Each one of you has to guess what it is. Obviously, my accent is going to suck, so you get bonus points. If you don't get it, we'll put it on the screen, and then you have to identify the hero. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, just the hero, right?
Just the hero. All right, are you ready? The number 1, Essence Fresser. Who has that down? Essence Fresser.
Shadowfiend.
Shadow.
Yeah, I wanted to say the same, but it's lame right now.
Essence Fresser.
Has to be Shadowfiend.
Incorrect. One last hit?
Shadow Demon.
No, you can't just keep guessing shadow heroes. No more shadow heroes.
Something with
all right. Faust Dead Tuts.
Tusk. Lion!
That's Fist of Death! Fist of Death! Well done, my friend. Well done. All right. Number two. This is Gegenschlag.
Legion?
No. Gegenschlag. Dankeschön. Ich habe ein kleiner Hund die Ecke.
Darkseer?
What?
Darkseer.
No. One more. Preferred Stalkerin.
One more time.
Preferred Stalken. Show the screen, please. Can we get the second one on the screen, please? For Peter Stalken. Okay, here it comes. Don't worry. Production's very quick. They'll have it in a few seconds. This is where they told me to... Phil.
Keep repeating.
Here we go. Peter
Tower. Centaur.
Centaur. All right, you both said that. I'll give it to you. All right, 1-1. We're going to move on. Okay, this is Unterstützen.
What? I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
You said it perfectly. Unterstützen. All right, put it on the screen, please. Number three. Now, this is very difficult, all right? We're getting into the very difficult range here. What do we have? Please don't look at my leaders. Keep your eyes up here, all right? Very tight leaders I got here. It is coming up on the screen soon for... There's another one, too. It's Versklinggenderskrit.
You make it really hard, man.
What do you mean I'm making it hard? That is a perfect translation. We are coming up with a third hero any moment now on screen. Any guesses for Versklinggenderskrit?
Gobble up Snapfire?
No.
I wanted to say Snapfire as well. Underlord.
Underlord. Oh, here it is. That's the second one. Verschlingers under script. Who could it be?
What?
Lord. Audience, any ideas? You want to help him out?
Clanks.
Clanks! It was Clanks! Engulfing step and suppressive fire. All right, for the win. He's about to win. You better get this one next. Oh, God.
Concentrate.
Uberfundsor Clicker Lichter. Put it on the screenplay. There it is. Well, we had it. Bring it back. Bring it back. Uberfundsor Lichter.
Is it Io?
Hell no, that is not Io.
Coddle?
No. Audience? That is correct. You win. Congratulations. All right, give it up for our winner, please. Now, this is the guy that made the Enigma Galaxy cheer for the audience, right?
I did.
Yes, you made a whole run through it. I'll let you have a choice of one of three presents from my little packet. However, while he's choosing, I do have a punishment for you. Would you like to know what it is?
Absolutely.
I've lost your prizes. They're gone, but I promise you I'll give them later. I have been pickpocketed. I'm so sorry. However, I do have the losing prize. Braze, bring it over. I have brought you the biggest insult a German could ever have, a currywurst with no curry, and now you must eat it.
Oh, no.
That's it. I'm so sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, please egg this poor man on as he has a simple worst.
It's Thüringer Bratwurst now.
Disgusting. Eat it now. Yes! Thank you. I will get you a prize, even though I was pickpocketed. I apologize for that. But can I have the second worst, please? We'll just give him the second worst. Give me that one as well. Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, the winner will also be punished. Thank you for watching. We love Hamburg. Back to you guys on the panel. Thank you. Talk.
Thank you very much, Slacks. And that was, I'm surprised. How many people do play with the German client, Kazoo?
They do. But Slacks, he needs help. Like, whatever this pronunciation. Also, every time someone speaks German, they make it really angry. Like, chill out, bro. I'm going to help Slacks out.
I will be, from a Dutch perspective, it does kind of sound a little angry sometimes the way Germans are speaking.
It does so. To me, the Dutch and Danish, it sounds even worse than German.
All right, well, it's a good thing we're doing this show in English, isn't that right, T?
I speak one language and not very well. So anyway, back to you, Shiva. What's the next part of this segment?
The next part is that we are going to look towards seeing what's coming our way for game number 2, because both of these teams, I'm going to be honest, of course BB Team wants to take game number 2 to force out a third game, but if you are Enigma Galaxy, coming off a win real hot, that's obviously great. But Effie, surely you want to end the game before minute 60.
You do, and I think they got caught a little bit off guard with that lone druid coming out, because at some point it just felt like their game plan was to chase the bear around, and you know what? It worked. We were watching it. The bear was feeding every 2 minutes. So like plus 300 there, plus 300 on the right side, plus 300 near the big camp. But a lot of that was due to maybe mis-execution from Pure. I don't think he played the cleanest game, and I think now that Nigma have seen that, they're going to have it in mind. They don't want to give him a cheese pick at the very end. Like, they will be prepared for this game too.
Overall, Nigma should be happy that after maybe making 1 or 2 high ground mistakes, that they figured out what they needed. Like, okay, they have static storm with Axe on Kataomi. Okay, what do we need? Okay, GH, I'm going to buy an Axe, I'm going to save you. So new win condition, you build it. So you just take this into the next game, whether you win in 30 or 60, I think take the win, take what you can into the next game, and hope that you can play as well as you just did.
Yeah, and critically, from Kroki, he has to ensure that his next draft for the lads will also have kind of that nice layering, right? With this lineup, you've got stuns from the Beastmaster, the Muerta, you've got the saves, like everything felt nice, that even if they were to be behind, there's still a chance the draft could play it out, right? I think going into game 2, as long as Nigma don't suddenly go, 180, where they're going to go high pace, low stun, and try and, crush for a 2-0, like if they just keep themselves grounded, that's when I think they're going to look their best.
Yeah, we're going to see how the teams will adjust. One thing when it comes to these really long games, you do want to be able to have a support duo that scales, and we definitely saw the scaling from Omar and GH with the Muerta and the Phoenix. Scaling on the side of BB Team T-Gov with a Wind Ranger and Disruptor, maybe not as easy.
Yeah, less the Windrunner, but I think the Disruptor was less the Disruptor, my apologies. I do speak one language poorly. Disruptor with the Aghanims, one of the best heroes in the game, right? For support, by picking up Aghanims, no other support hits that hard, right? Being able to mute is incredible. So I think it's fine, it's just the other pieces didn't step up, right? Like the Abaddon was a bit of a lost hero, Windrunner also a bit lost, Lone Druid lost lane, Disruptor had a good mid to late game, Earthshake had a good early game, but there was never a point where all heroes aligned. So I think it's Windrunner, Abba, and Lone Druid, they're the three pieces that just underperformed in that game.
Yeah, also usually I just feel like they have more of a get-together, like in terms of the game, like how they play together, like even Pure we mentioned, he had a rough game, but like second item Aghs, Lone Druid, he's not going to fight with you. He's going to split around the map, and I think usually BB Team are more the team that eventually they hit their timings, they go together and they fight you, and they fight you back. I didn't see that so much in game 1, so I would like them to change it up for game 2 and try that approach instead.
I don't think they expected to lose that Lone Druid lane as hard as they did, because their game plan must have been different on paper.
Oh, sure.
Like, I don't think Miro went into that game thinking he would buy a Diffusal Blade. I assume he was just going to go Helm into Radiance, but when he saw the state of the game and that Lone Druid needed to play Recovery, he went for that Diffusal to try to be as impactful as possible, make it so they can set up for a few easy kills with it. It didn't work out, but my question for BB Team now is that you come into a game with a vision, it doesn't work out. Do you pivot entirely, or do you just try to recreate it while ironing out what you thought were the flaws? Because I would prefer they moved away from it personally.
Yeah,
that did not inspire confidence.
Again, not to harp on it, but just for the fun of it, Lone Druid had 800 more last hits than the Muerta, but also had like less than half the amount of damage of the Muerta, right? That kind of summarizes the kind of the emptiness of that game.
Yeah, a little painful on that front, but hey, there's a new round, there's new chances on the horizon, because it is time for both teams to face each other once again.
BB Team versus Nigma Galaxy. Game